Exeter stomping on the bleachers. Low snap. The kick is good. Great move after the catch. First down and more. Now Coleman showing you the speed. Breaks the tackle. Still up the 5 and in for the touchdown. Wow. He's gone. Gould showing you the speed. One man to beat. Yannicko's going to break. He's good. Yannicko inside the 5. He's over the pylon. Touchdown. We got a game. Pinkered it. Going to throw on the run. Weigel pulls it in with one hand, and now he's in the end zone. Trying to shake off a man at the 15. He's at the 5 there, and he's into the end zone. Left Hindle, short pass, put big hit here at the line of scrimmage. Gino in motion, snap taken, Heening, going to throw down the seam. He's got Coleman in the end zone. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Plastown. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Exeter Bluehawks and the Timberlane Owls. Two contenders in Division One colliding as we hit the midway point of the regular season. Time of year where you start to think about playoff positioning. And of course, it's an expanded field in Division One this season, with 13 of the now 21 teams will qualify. There'll be an extra round, and I have a feeling that both of these two teams will be there. Timberlane 3-1. They made the jump up from Division Two after winning the D2 title last year. They return to Division One after an absence of a few seasons, and they've hit the ground running. 3-1 coming in, fresh off a 42-14 blowout on the road at Keene. Meanwhile, Exeter, perennially tough, undefeated, led by longtime head coach Bill Ball, now in his 30th season. He's got the team in the hunt yet again for another championship ring. They are 4-0. They come off a scare last week where they survived against their longtime rival Winnicott by a score of 3-0. Steve, you just said off air a moment ago that you're expecting perhaps the hardest hitting game that we've seen so far this season.
I really believe it will be, Nick. Just the nature and the culture of these two programs. Both love to run the football, and this we talked on Gridiron last night to both coaches, and it's absolutely acknowledged. This is part of the old Division II rivalry. And you had BG, Exeter, and Timberlane, and many others as well that were just going at it all the time. A lot of times, these two teams came down to the finals. So I'm expecting a physical game, and I expect 4 quarters of all-out football. It's going to be interesting to watch the depth factors. We can get back to more. But Nick, this has been one that FNLNH has had on the calendar for a while. It's no surprise that we're here tonight.
Grass field, temperature right now about 57 degrees. The sun is setting.
Perfect.
And the temperature will drop just a bit. Should be about 50 once the game commences. There's a look at the Bluehawks. 4-0. They put up 30-plus in each of their first 3 games, all of them victories. And then last week, kind of stuck in the mud most of the way out in Hampton. Didn't get the field goal on the board until the fourth quarter. The defense made a play in the closing seconds to shut the door And Exeter, as a result, still unbeaten. Again, a perfect 4-0.
And both of these defenses have proven to some of the top brass how good they are. If you look at the BG game and you look at what Timberlane did in the second half, Nick, they basically almost shut them out. 3 points, I think, is all BG got in the second half. That is not an easy thing to do. And when you look at Exeter, you look at the defensive battle in that game, you can't look at Winnicunnet's record. You've got to look at Coach Frank Core, outstanding coach, building that team. They faced some tough competition early, and they gave Exeter all they can handle. But it's that championship-style defense that both of these teams are able to put together. We saw it last year when we were here with Timberlane and Milford, Nick, when they were in Division II. I expect the defenses to be hard-hitting. They know their lanes. They know they're playing assignment football. This is the kind of game I like, because both teams are going to come right at you, and they have the personnel to do it.
Yeah, both teams with a lot of veterans, a lot of seniors, 16 starters, including 8 on the defense, back with Timberlane.
A lot of depth, yeah.
Bill Ball returns 11 starters, 5 on the defensive side. All right, we'll take a break, come back, get the coin toss, get the national anthem, and then get busy.
Yeah.
First quarter coming up here at the bottom of the hour in just a few minutes. Ready to rock and roll on the other side. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Wow. There it is, the national anthem by the Timberlane Marching Band. We'll see more of them at halftime. We'll bring you that performance here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire at the halftime break. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Week 5 already. Basically the midway point of this 9-week regular season. We get an extra round of postseason tournament play with a preliminary round in early November, as we highlighted at the top of the broadcast. There is longtime head coach Bill Ball on that Exeter sideline, 30 years now on the job. He's also, of course, the school's athletic director. Timberlane is led by, as Steve affectionately likes to call him, the sea captain, Kevin Fitzgerald. Ship captain, now in his 15th season. And, of course, brought home the bacon, so to speak, last year with a championship victory over Milford in Division II. And he said, you know what, our guys were all about jumping up to D1, basically, up for the challenge. And, again, winners of 3 of 4 coming in most likely would be viewed as the underdog in this one tonight. But all that out the window with 2 very physical teams about to go nose to nose.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that the ship captain is out of tremendous amount of respect and appreciation for the leadership this guy shows on the coaching circles. I'd be honored, and anybody should be honored to play for either one of these coaches, and I'd play my heart out for them. These guys are just, you can see they have the respect of their players. Their preparation is outstanding, and they put in the work and the effort, and both of these guys, as FNLNH, of course, has a lot of respect for all of our personnel, our camera people, and Ben Back, I know, thinks the world of Coach Ball. And imagine, Nick, 30 years coming out, 30 falls. He smelled the grass and seen the leaves turn. And boy, what a tremendous contribution to so many youth.
Not just coaching football either. Of course, he used to coach boys lacrosse and is also head of the referee association. Basically assigns the officials in both the spring and the fall, I believe. So he's a busy guy in addition to his athletic director duties over there at Exeter.
I guess that clearly explains why they provided him a golf cart to roam around.
Yes.
He's got multiple tasks. Well deserved.
All right, we got a grass field, as we mentioned, in pretty good shape. Saw a lot of rain late last week. And, well, you could see a couple of dead spots down there, so to speak, but that just gives the field a little more character. In my opinion. All right, Timberlane is going to kick from right to left in this first quarter. The lights are on and becoming more and more necessary by the minute as we hit the bottom of this 6 o'clock hour here in Plastow. All right, Timberlane going to send out Harrison Bloom, the junior kicker. He's a righty. He's got the ball teed up at the 40 on the near hash, kicks an end-over-end kick towards the 25, and we are underway here from Timberlane. It's a good return. This is Exeter's Evan Delory, the junior, trying to work his way to the far side of the field, able to cross the 30 before he's taken down at about the 34-yard line. So pretty good starting field position for Exeter. And that vaunted offensive line, going to see a lot of substitutions up front tonight. Coach Ball likes to play a lot of offensive linemen, but we know about the starters, Steve, one of the best units in the state.
No question. Cam Nazarian on that kickoff tackle there for the Timberlane Owls. Boy, it's pretty sure when he gets a grip on you, you're not getting away. That was a interesting open field tackle for sure.
Here's Evan Paffer under center, and he fumbles the opening snap. The senior going to cover up, secure the football, but going to have to swallow about a 2, maybe a 3-yard loss as the Blue Hawks avert disaster on the opening play and now face a 2nd down and 12 from what looks like the 32-yard line.
It's that time of year, Nick. We start getting condensation and dew at night. And it's just a quick adjustment there. Looked like it slipped up through the quarterback's hands. And that's not how you want to start, but let's see what they can do here with that high-powered running offense.
2nd down and 12. Pafford back under center. Senior quarterback staring down what looks like a blitz. Going to take the snap, going to hand to his right, and the tackle is going to be made in the hole. Nowhere to go. Timberlane ready. That's Cam Zambrowitz. The 6'1", 223-pound junior makes the tackle back at the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, the handoffs look very solid, Nick. Evan Pafford, obviously very skilled in hiding the ball. I was actually faked out from up here. I thought it was the guy on the left-hand side, the first outside running back that he had out on the tee.
Instead, it was Michael DeTore.
Yeah, nice job.
With his first carry, the 5'7" senior.
Good job.
3rd down and 10. And have a man in motion far side. A quick pass to the flat. This is DeTore trying to get back inside. Going to be tackled around the shoulder pads once again by Zambrowicz.
Nice contain there. Held ground. Anytime you're able to get a runner who's working down the field, watch how he freezes him in place, slows him down, See if we get it here. Yeah, just a little bit too far outside. But
the contain was there.
The contain was there, and he was able to slow him down.
And now we have a 4th down and 9. A low snap, and the punt is fair caught. Back at the Owl 36-yard line.
Picked a perfect strike right in the chest of the kick receiver.
Kind of a bullet there, a bullet line drive on the punt. And again, well handled by Timberlane. Good job really both ways.
Yep, traded field position.
As Bradley Richards, the punter, had to bend all the way down to the toes to field the snap.
So Timberlane defensive line, Nick, looked very solid to me on that opening drive.
Jade Magwai, man who made the fair catch. He's out wide to the near side, right on 1st and 10. The throw is to the far side. The catch is made. It looks like a first down. That's Trey Baker, 5'11 senior, one of these veterans that Coach Fitzgerald was praising to us last night. 1 snap and 1 first down. A good start here for the home team.
Yeah, it looks like you were talking about the field has a couple kind of bald spots. It doesn't look like the footing is terrible, but it doesn't look like when they plant their feet. It looks like there might be a little bit of give to the turf. We'll see how that progresses in the game.
Quarterback, kind of a chest pass to the left side. That's not going anywhere.
Yeah, nice job there by.
That's Ed
Dwight
DiGiulio, the senior, on the catch. And they're going to credit Bean with the tackle. So we've talked about this Blue Hawk secondary before, Steve.
Excellent.
Year in and year out, seems like they're one of the more powerful secondaries. And always good linebacker play, as we know as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, Nick, is just they know their assignments, so they're able to go at full tilt, full time, because they're very cerebrally, technically sound.
Here's the throw from the quarterback, Dominic Capetta. And again, it's complete, far side for Baker. And again, the Owls are going to move the sticks. It's a first down, a gain of 11. As all of a sudden, Capetta is 2 for 2.
Yeah, Capetta's looks like he got a good outside pass, Nick. He did a nice job there looking downfield, forced the defensive back to kind of play off 5 or 6 yards, and then he just drills it out to him. Right, he's done it twice.
Capetta going to hand off this time on 1st and 10, and the Blue Hawks are going to stifle the run. That's the freshman Liam Corman on his first carry. Corman's been a pleasant surprise for the Owls. He scored 7 touchdowns in 4 games as a freshman. His first carry, though, officially goes for no gain at 2nd down and 10. Of course, Capetta is a good story as well. The senior signal caller missed the playoff run last year with a leg injury. Able to get his old job back, so to speak, in camp. And again, is off to a good start here. Meanwhile, DiGiulio finds a little bit of room left side, going to pick up 3 yards, and now Timberlane facing a 3rd down and 7 as we near 4 minutes in first quarter.
Both defensive lines, Nick, look like they're strong. They're getting separation properly and able to hold the gaps. And it doesn't look like any running back yet, Nick, has really got a head of steam. They've been able to kind of freeze them in their tracks with good defensive play and good defensive containment.
Meanwhile, we have an officials timeout, I believe.
There's an injury out there.
Oh, okay. Yep. There's an injury on Timberlane.
Yep.
And that's junior Cam Zambrowitz, the 6'1" linebacker / offensive lineman. 2 tackles defensively on that opening drive, but it looks like he's in some pain down at the 45-yard line.
He just moved his knee pretty well there when he got up. He kind of set it back and put weight on it, so that's always a good sign. When they can do that, hopefully he's okay. I watched him run by me, Nick. I was going down around the track, and he ran right by me, and wow, he's a rugged specimen there.
And he's going to be helped off by the trainer walking with a bit of a limp, so the starting right tackle.
But he's putting weight on it, so
trying to get right on the sideline.
Hopefully he'll be okay.
Meanwhile, the Timberlane offense facing a 3rd down and 7 from the Blue Hawk 45. They go back to the air. Capetta's got a man. It's another first down. Inside the 20-yard line, make it the 30. Goes number 20, Matthew Williams, 5'9", 175-pound sophomore. Third first down of the drive as the Owls able to convert again on third down.
Yeah, and Capetta provided an ample amount of time here, Nick. They had the offensive lineman had the defensive line all in their control, and that gave Capetta. I don't think you want to give this guy a lot of time.
Left side toss. Again, it's the freshman Corman. Tackled inbounds here along the near sideline.
Yeah,
Exeter able to swarm to the football. Ian O'Kane, one of the big seniors, in on the area. It's a gain of 2, second down and 8.
That looked like there was a little confusion on the blocking situation there. He wanted to cut inside. The blocker did look like he was going to kick the defender out, which inside would have had a lane. Then all of a sudden he decided to go outside. A little bit of confusion there. I think if he did kick inside, he might have gone up 5, 6, 7 yards.
All right, 2 receivers right, 1 short side left, 2 backs to the right of Capetta on second down and 8. They go back to the ground inside, and spun down is DeGulio after a gain of, it looks like, only 2.
Again, third and 7.
A couple of Exeter defenders in there, including Isaac Bean, the aforementioned junior. So another third down facing the Owls, 3rd and 7 officially. They're 2 for 2 on third down so far on this drive.
Yeah, the 3rd and 7 is not your goal after the first 2 downs, Nick, but Capetta's been able to hit his receivers, I think, at least twice, maybe 3 times already. We'll see here.
Go back to the ground. Corman, right side, trying to spin in the hole, twists his way inside the 25-yard line, but he's going to be well shy of the first down. A gain of 2, and now a 4th down and 5, and it's decision time for Coach Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I think that last play was designed with 4-down territory in mind. Outside, obviously, the leg of the kicker, so that was set up with 2 plays. We'll see what happens here. The defensive backs have been playing a little bit soft on the corners of the receivers, Nick. We'll see if they tighten the screws down a little bit here.
Got a 4-receiver set.
May have a go route.
3 to the right here on 4th down. Exeter going to rush only 3. Capetta takes his time, throws in the slot. It's juggled, and it's incomplete. Trying to hook up with Baker. Sure-handed on his first 2 catches. This one, though, gets away from him. Exeter catches a break. Blue Hawks take over on downs.
Well, Capetta hits him with a strike here, Nick, as he goes across. Just couldn't. It was almost too good. It was eye high and just kind of slipped through his grasp. That's a costly mistake there for the Owls. Would have been down on what, Nick? Probably about the 18-yard line, I think.
Would have been a first down.
Would have been a first down.
Instead, Exeter takes over. We're midway through this first quarter. 1 drive each way. As Pafford and company now face a 1st and 10 from their own 25. Exeter back to the ground, trying to find some room left side. It's bottled up quickly. Timberlane's Liam Kelly, first on the spot in maroon for the defense. It's a gain of 3, though, in the end. Some power running, able to push the pile and set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, the trenches, Nick, are getting. Watch the impact of some of these hits in the trenches. Look at that. They're digging down right now. This is part of the point. They've been out a couple times, both offenses. Now they're ready to go. Somebody wants to take control of this game by scoring first.
That was Ethan Moss on the previous carry, his first. We'll see a number of different Blue Hawk running backs handle the ball tonight. 2nd down and 7. Inside handoff, and again the hole snaps shut.
Outstanding work by the Owls linebackers there.
That's Austin Patnode, Steve, the sophomore linebacker, closing it down.
Impressive. Looked like he was at middle. I couldn't tell, but he came from that direction. And always run to that daylight. He did just that, and the wrapping of both of these defenses, Nick, wrapping up and tackling has been very sound so far. Nobody's breaking the grasp of any of these defensive tacklers.
Caleb Moley, another one of these underclassmen putting in work, the sophomore, holding his own along the D-line. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 7. Exeter going to throw for the first time, and it's incomplete.
Pretty well covered there.
Trying to find Moss out of the backfield near side. A good effort by the senior, but it falls incomplete. And now a 3 and out. The reality for Exeter as they bring the punt unit onto the field.
Assignment football here. Watch. Knows who he needs to cover. Stays close. Shields him. If he could have caught it, it would have been tipped. Excellent positioning defensively. Good work.
Good snap for punt number 2. Richards able to get it away cleanly. It's going to roll uncontested along the near sideline. Exeter going to down it inside the 25-yard line. So drive number 2 for the Owls.
Productive kick.
Just over 4 minutes to go first quarter.
So that changed field position. Now instead of everybody starting on the 38 to 45, they got some good yardage on that kick, and they'll be down that. So that's the deepest anybody started from, I believe.
Yep.
Yet I think Exeter was on about the
same on the.
I guess it was about the same. You're right.
Yep. Exeter's second drive started at the 25.
Geez, I ought to know that, Nick. I'm at the 50-yard line. I ought to know that.
At the 25. So Timberlane able to do some things on that first drive. They moved the football, 3 first downs, but ran out of gas, so to speak, just shy of the red zone. All right.
This is kind of what I expected, Nick.
Back for more work is Capetta, the senior. Going to take a direct snap, call his own number. Trying to find a little crease in the A gap, but again, not happening. Richards right there in the hole to meet him on the stop there for Exeter, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Well, again, Capetta, you can see there, got some pretty good size to him.
Yep.
Seems cool in the pocket.
Manages very well. As does Pafford. Both of these quarterbacks, very, very much about, they're assigned to do a mission and they follow through and they do it. I've always enjoyed the players coming off the field and getting direction at the high school level from coaches, and both these coaches do that very well.
Seems like more and more of a trend each year. Capetta sends a man in motion. It's the freshman Gorman. A little bit of room near side. Going to cross the 30, lower the shoulder at about the 31, and lean his way up to the 32-yard line. Aiden McGinley, one of these veterans for Exeter on the tackle. It is, though, a gain of 5. And now it looks like a 3rd and a manageable 3 on the way as we're about to hit the 3-minute mark here first quarter.
Yeah, he squeezed every bit of juice in the fruit out of that one, Nick. He saw the hole, saw the blocking scheme, found a weak seam in the defense, and drove through it, and then held the ball with 2 hands and did a spin move. Always, if you're going to spin, have 2 paws on the ball. That's a nice piece of running there to put him 3rd and 3 or 4?
3rd and 3 officially. Corman, the freshman.
It's going to be a yard short, looks like.
Taking down shy of the 35, which is where he needed to get to. Let's take a look at the spot here.
Be interesting call here.
Less than a yard, I'd say. 4th down and maybe a 1.5 feet.
Well, what do you do here?
It's tempting. And now Coach Fitzgerald going to send out the special teams.
I think he made the right move.
Going to punt the football here a little too too dangerous at the 34.
And both of these defensive lines, Nick, are outstanding tactically.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of stuff at the line or a little bit of a loss, maybe a half a yard gain. Too risky that deep in the territory.
So the first punt on the way. Good swing of the leg and a pretty good kick there from Wanji. Fair catch called for and made by DeTore Ware at about the Exeter 43-yard line. So that's the best starting field position yet either way.
I would agree, yeah.
And it comes with just inside of 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And also this back and forth nature is something that we kind of expected with both of these teams. I think both of these teams are comfortable with that, quite frankly.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for someone to make a breakout play.
Yeah, we knew what to expect. I think both coaches knew what to expect, tipped their hat towards us, so to speak, last night. And it's going to come down to blocking, tackling, and the line of scrimmage.
Fundamentals.
Through the first 10 minutes or so, that is bared out. Exeter going to bring about 7 in the box here on first down, and it's going to pay off as they stifle the run.
Maybe
Moss
a yard.
Kept the legs bushing. They've gotten an extra yard or 2 up to the 45 to set up a 2nd down and 8.
Again.
Well, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, again, defensive line work on both sides. It's equitable on both sides. There's nobody that's really on the defensive front doing better than the other. They're both doing exceedingly well. There's a little bit of these offenses that I think are testing different things on the line, probably from upstairs testing matchups and to see where there's a weakness and exploit it. But both have been held strong at every position so far.
2nd down and 8. Timberlane showing some heat on the edge. They'll pitch to the far side. Good cut here by Richards.
Yeah.
But again, the pursuit able to catch up pretty quickly. Richards makes his way to his own 49-yard line, just shy of midfield. Looks like a 3rd down and 4 on the way as we hit the final minute here of this scoreless first quarter.
Yeah, I'd say this is a clock-burning. I mean, both teams clock burning would probably be, if this continues, it's going to be a short game. Depth seems to be abundant on both of these squads, Nick. I'm watching some of the substitutions, watching as they go in. There doesn't seem to be, as I talked to Coach Ball last night, doesn't seem to be any letdown.
He wants his second unit ready to step in at any moment. Meanwhile, play action. Roll out on third down. The throw is complete. Moss inside the 20. Down the near sideline. He's going to score the touchdown.
No flags.
A 51-yard throw and catch. Evan Pafford to Ethan Moss for 6.
Huge defensive error here, Nick. Watch. He has to stay with that receiver. There was no safety, no cornerback anywhere to be found. It's a hard job to do it, but you got to stay with that receiver. Watch if we get it in view here. As he looks downfield, he's got a defender, and then all of a sudden he starts moving forward to cover the quarterback. He's got to follow that receiver there, or, again, in all fairness to him, that could have been a safety that got drawn in the wrong way, but huge mistake, and that's what play action does.
Extra point attempt by the man who scored the touchdown, Ethan Moss. It's good. Off the right foot, right down the middle. A 51-yard touchdown pass from Brian Pafford to Ethan Moss. Exeter on the board first here on the road, 7-0.
Just a little continuance on that play defensively. If Evan Pafford crosses the line of scrimmage, then you come up. But as long as he's rolling out behind the line of scrimmage, the most dangerous person is the person behind you. And he had coverage on him, and then decided to attack Pafford well before he even turned up across the line of scrimmage there. But a very well-designed play and made it very difficult, and isolated two players playing catch with one defender.
Pass on the money as well.
And I'm passing on the money. Evans' technical capabilities as well as Capetta look extremely strong. These are two good quarterbacks.
Multi-sport athlete.
Yep.
As we know, we'll see him this winter on the hardwood. Blue Hawks expected to compete year in and year out on the basketball circuit in Division I, and Pafford a big part of that Blue Hawk squad. All right, Moss ready to kick. Timberlane in a hole now, 7-0. Two return men just outside the 12-yard line. Moss's kick is a good one. It's right down the middle. It's deep. It takes a bounce at the goal line, and it will be returned by Williams here near side. Williams, a good cut at the 15. Trying to bounce it back. 25, 30, 35, tiptoeing to the 40. Tackled from behind at the 44-yard line. It's Williams with an impressive zigzagging return for Timberlane to set them up with good field position.
How huge is that? Somebody strikes, you've got to come back with a big play. You've got to show them you're here. This is just an outstanding job of weaving through his tackles, waiting for them to develop. Look at him slow down. Let's his blockers get in front. Outstanding job by number 5. We'll get his name, give him accolades. Another block by number 5.
That's the freshman.
Outstanding work by the young freshman.
That's Liam Corman.
Corman, outstanding work. A big part of that game.
Well, he's got 3 carries to his credit. He scored 7 touchdowns in 4 games.
Wow. Obviously
willing
to block.
Showing that willingness.
That's a total player.
To get after it and help out his teammates. Meanwhile, Capetta, quarterback draw. Second carry for the senior. And he's over midfield after a gain of about 8. That is going to do it for the first quarter. Exeter on a long hookup from Pafford to Moss leads 7-0. Timberlane, though, on the march when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. All right, we got a good first quarter here. 7-0 Exeter. Blue Hawks hook up on a 51-yard touchdown pass from Brian Pafford to Ethan Moss. Timberlane, after possessing the football twice in that first quarter, coming away empty, showing some promise here on this drive, as Capetta, the quarterback, on his third carry is able to move the sticks and move the football down inside the Exeter 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Looks like Timberlane was not too thrilled with giving up a touchdown there, Nick, on an outstanding play call as well as an execution of a play-action pass. That's how it's supposed to be done. But Timberlane's coming to life here and knocking off some good gains.
Capetta on 1st and 10, near side, has a man. It's Baker's third catch. Going to turn his back to the defense at the Blue Hawk 25-yard line before he's whistled down. Stopped by DeTore and Moss. Baker's been busy. 4 targets here in this first half. And again, more importantly, a first down for the Owls as they maintain the momentum here offensively.
You said it, Nick, more importantly, because when you can answer back after you've gone down 7-0 on the next possession, it's a momentum thing in the head that we've evened it up, we're with you, and that takes away that kind of playing downhill effect that the Exeter Blue Hawks would be expecting to play.
Important drive here.
Yes.
Inside, has the hole, lowers the shoulder, and that's close to a first down. Owls in the red zone for the first time tonight. A pretty good gainer there of nearly 10 yards. Edward DeGulio continuing to be busy here for the Owls out of the backfield.
Looks like we see this on replay. Here we go. Watch the linebacker kind of sets back here. Watch. Whoop. Got faked out. See, number 2 sets back a little bit. He's got to come up and fill that hole, Nick, because the further the offense gets down the field, the wider the area he has to run.
That's the safety, Nolan Bleakley.
Got to come up.
Capetta, left side.
Like that.
There's a man at the edge. That's Aiden McGinley trying to rip the football out. Capetta doing a good job protecting the ball with 2 arms. That was actually 2nd down and short.
Capetta with the short gain on the keeper.
And that's all they needed. It was a short game. They get it. Less than a yard, but good enough for another first down.
Good for another
Owls move the football down the field on the opening drive, on their opening drive. 3 first downs, but came away empty, turned it over on downs, just outside of the 20-yard line. Had to punt after a 3-and-out on their second possession, and here on drive number 3, they can smell the end zone, basically, with the football inside the 15.
And a good methodical drive, kind of done the Timberlane Owl way. A little more passing, spreading it out a little bit from the gun.
Shotgun snap, handoff right side, spun down as the freshman in the backfield.
Too long to develop.
Exeter. They had Owen Simon as Johnny on the spot, the 6-foot senior. Had the ball carrier to himself. Wrapped him up with both arms. It's a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, that wasn't a very well executed run there, Nick. You see it on, there's almost a delay. See the delay right there? He pulls a big, and that doesn't allow him to get the kind of velocity he needs to get by those backside rushers coming in. So, got to get off a little bit. I understand you want to hold it with the quarterback option, but there was no option there. He should have handed it off right away.
2nd down, 11 from the 15. Capetta, 4 receivers. The freshman in motion. They fake to him. They keep it with the senior. He's right side. He's going to stiff arm at the 10-yard line and fall forward down to about the 9. Trying to shut off Moss. A good run again for Capetta. Coach Fitzgerald continuing to call his number. 3 minutes in, second quarter. Owls facing now a 3rd and 5.
And you see they're running that jet motion there, Nick, which Capetta does a great job of looking like he handed it off to him, hides the ball well, and then runs back off tackle to the right side. Boy, he's a big guy, Nick. He has got a large frame, and he's a load to bring down.
Meanwhile, a timeout is called by Exeter. It's the first timeout either way as Coach Ball wants to have a word with his defense before this important 3rd down and 5. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit nhiphonerepair.com. Also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And finally, by Ghost Energy. Ghost is an active lifestyle sports nutrition brand that powers users to be seen beyond the walls of the gym. So be seen with Ghost Energy. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Owls trailing 7-0 here, just over 3 minutes gone by, second quarter. Looking to move the chains here on a 3rd down and 5. They keep it with their senior quarterback, Capetta. Going to power his way down inside the 5-yard line and just shy, it looks like, of the 2 before it's all said and done. It's going to be 1st and goal for Exeter. Coach Fitzgerald out of the timeout, keeping it with one of his senior captains.
Watch here as the offensive right guard and center get excellent low position. Look at that surge moving forward. And the big guy, Capetta, the big quarterback, just powers his way through. Looked kind of like maybe a 5-year ago, Tom Brady-esque. Don't underestimate his strength.
Right.
Capetta's got that height and that extension, but those offensive linemen did a great job surging him some open space.
1st and goal from the 2. They go to the freshman, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's his 8th of the season. Inside give for Liam Corman, the 5'10", 160-pound freshman, is going to put Timberlane on the board, and this home crowd starts to celebrate.
But watch again, there's a little bit of a tide turning here. Watch if we get this on replay. The surge of the offensive line. There's a down block that opened up a gaping hole that he was able to run through, but just a terrific job. If I was Exeter, I'd be a little concerned about the defensive line right now getting overtaken and losing some key matchups on the Timberlane Owl offensive front.
Extra point is good by the junior kicker, Harrison Bloom. 7-7. We've got a football game on our hands now. A tie game 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Watch the offensive surge here. Look at that kick-out block by 72
Huge
and
hole.
a down block by 55. There was nobody there. You could have driven an RV through there. I didn't want to say a Mack truck. That's kind of, RV. I got to think of something better.
I was thinking of my Camry. Could at least fit through there, but if you're thinking bigger.
Yeah, but that Camry runs on jet fuel, Nick. We know that, and that's why. What a great drive for the Timberlane Owls to come back, tie the game up with Exeter. Now we're even. It's kind of like losing a big poker hand and coming back and winning one.
Right.
Not that I've ever done that, but it's just just kidding. But that evening up very quickly on that drive was a critical part of maintaining parity amongst these two teams. But there is one area here, Nick, that there seems to be a little bit of a shift here. Is the Timberlane offensive line is for real here against a very good defensive line of Exeter.
By the way, if you're just joining us, one of the captains along the offensive line, the sophomore Cam Zambrowitz, went out of the game briefly, back in, and able to contribute on that scoring drive for the home team. Meanwhile, Dettori on the return for Exeter seeks room, pushed out of bounds along the home sideline. That was close to a late hit, and then a little pushing and a little shoving.
Yeah, it was close.
On the sideline.
Pretty close to be that, but it was more of a push rather than a shoulder hit, and I think that's probably why they let it go. But it was close. What a nice job by him, showing Simpson wants to get that ball on the left side, though. You don't want to be carrying that with the pigskin right against the defenders, but nevertheless, a nice run. Nick, I think we're going to be able to have in the next week or two, probably Frost on the Piggy plays here. Once this snowy area, maybe it's a little bit early, but
I don't think you're even allowed to talk about that until tomorrow when October arrives.
Well, yeah.
Tonight it's nice.
All right, fair enough.
Let's enjoy it. It's about 50.
Well, there's people like the Frost and the Piggy play of the game. I don't know.
All right. Here is the outside run. Dettori finds trouble on the edge.
Great coverage there.
Timberlane with a wall of maroon, nowhere to go. It's a loss of 2 and a 2nd down and 12 on the way. Meanwhile, there's an Exeter player slow to get up.
Yeah, I believe it was the running back, Nick. I'm not sure, or the man that was running the ball, young man that was running the ball.
Yeah, it's Dettori.
He got twisted down. Watch the way he gets twisted down here. We'll see it again. No, I guess we just did see it again. But he appeared as though he got kind of twisted, and he kind of came down sideways. So I don't think it's a leg injury, but
Dettori, of course, one of the main ball carriers for Coach Ball.
Well, the right leg is on the ground, stretched out, so I don't know. Looks like they're removing the players off the field.
I mean, he tried to shift his weight, I think, to
yeah,
cut
let's see if we can
upfield.
see this again here.
Moley was there on the edge. He tried to turn it. It looked like upfield, and then a couple of different players went down
that's
on
a good
top
sign.
of him. Dettori, Coach Ball, and the training staff over there along the far sideline.
That's a good sign.
Help Dettori to his feet here, and he's going to hobble his way towards the visitor sideline. If he's unable to return, that's a big blow, as Exeter would have to try to find somebody to step up
Yeah, he's
and
been a
fill
big
the
player for
5'7" senior shoes.
5'7", but
180 pounds of rock.
runs like a cannonball.
All right, Exeter got on the board late in that first quarter. 51-yard hookup from Brian Pafford to Ethan Moss. Moss's extra point was good. It was 7-0 after the first quarter. Timberlane able to eat up nearly 5 minutes on the ensuing drive and score moments ago a 2-yard touchdown run by freshman running back Liam Corman. So that's where we are, 7-7, nearly 5 minutes into the second quarter. Exeter, after the delay, facing a 2nd and 12. They're going to lose yards again. The pitch to the right side, swallowed up almost immediately by Timberlane. I think that was Nick DeLucia, the senior defensive lineman who was in the backfield in a hurry, and now Exeter facing a 3rd and long.
Yeah, these individual line trenches matchups, Nick, are starting to favor. Look at that. Look at the blowback there. Too many. 1, 2, 3 players, Owls in the defensive backfield right away. That's impressive. And again, you can see it on offense where they started winning battles on offense. Now it appears as though personnel on the defensive line, which some of them are the same guys, but some of them aren't, are winning the battles as well in the trenches.
3rd down and 16 after back-to-back losses. Exeter may go to the air here. No, they'll go inside and again find no running room.
Well,
that's a new ball carrier, Steve. That's Desmond Rugg, his first touch. The senior with absolutely nowhere to go. It's 4th and 16 as we hit the midway point of the second quarter.
But we talked last night on Gridiron when we were talking to the great Tom King about concerns about this game that I had. I just think Timberlane on this grass field with a high crown, Nick, they're used to playing here. They're very comfortable. To me, when I've walked out on the field, I just was kind of throwing out there that there could be somewhat of an advantage that they have, in this game against Exeter, where Exeter plays on turf. But hey, every week you got to play where you're supposed to play, but it does seem like Timberlane is kind of running downhill here.
It was one of the topics that was breached last night on FNL Gridiron, heard every Thursday night at 6 on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, was
what a great bunch of gets.
The difference between Exeter's home turf field and this more traditional grass look.
From Exeter's standpoint, Timberlane, whatever they're doing, it's going well now.
Looking for their first lead with the game tied at 7-7 midway through the second quarter. They open up drive number 4 on the ground with a run to the right side. Not much there for the sophomore Williams, although he does push the pile an extra yard or so to set up 2nd and 7.
I'd say Exeter's their punting team's doing a great job on their punts and good coverage. Setting the Owls back. Certainly winning that battle so far in the kicking game. So special teams so important.
Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. It's a fast-moving first half tonight here in Plastow. Capetta going to have a word with his freshman teammate Liam Corman. Send him to the slot, take the snap, throw it to the slot. Catch is made in the flat near side. That's Corman across the 25.
A couple yards short, I think.
Tackled inbounds at about the 27. Moss, again, the first on the scene for Exeter. It looks like a 3rd and 1 on the way.
Yeah, key there is Capetta's got to open that shoulder about 45, 50 degrees, pull it back quickly and fire it. And what a nice pickup. Boy, quarterbacks usually in the locker room after, I'm going to give them a pat on the back saying, nice job. And he comes up, he's looking for every single yard. So good execution there by the receiver, first quarterback.
That's Corman
and his team.
Who has touched the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
not just tonight, but all season. Came in again with 7 touchdowns on the ground, scored his 8th earlier in the second quarter. They keep it with the quarterback. And again, Tom Brady going to fight for it looks like a 2-yard gain when they only needed 1. First down, Timberlane.
Well, that's where having a quarterback with that kind of height, that kind of extension, and if you walk by this guy, you see how rugged he is. Timberlane, when they, like I said, they were running by, those guys looked like they had a good off-season workout session. Both these teams did. And
2 of the top 5
some
teams
rugged guys
in the New Hampshire Union Leader Power Poll. Incomplete near side. Baker trying to reach out and pull that one in front of his teammates on the home sideline, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Not Capetta's best pass mechanics there, the last 2 passes, Nick. He opened up well on the pass before that, but he kind of didn't really come across his body. Same situation there, just kind of uncomfortable in his footwork, and the ball sailed on him a little bit.
Second down and 10. I think that's only his second incompletion tonight.
Yeah. The other was that, he's been outstanding.
The other was a drop. Going to fake the handoff, cut it up at the 30, hit at the 31, and it's whistled dead at the 32. Another quarterback keeper for Capetta. Third down, and it looks like 8 here. Bleakley able to make the tackle out of the Exeter secondary.
Yeah, he had a lot of support, too. That was an outstanding job by Exeter, Nick. Swarming to the football, did a great job.
Seen a lot of gang tackles both ways.
Yes.
In this first half.
Yeah, this game is very important to both of these teams and these communities. It just goes back so far. That's why it's so great to see the Owls back in D1.
Important in the standings as well. I was about to say in Division 1. Exeter trying to remain unbeaten and improve to 5-0. Timberlane with a win would improve to 4-1. They're going to have to swallow a sack. That's McGinley in the backfield, spinning Capetta down for the big loss. First sack tonight for the Exeter defense. They're going to force a punt here. Meanwhile, the clock ticks down inside of 3 minutes. Exeter still got 2 timeouts in Coach Ball's back pocket.
Yeah, Exeter doing a great job coming back with the intensity they had before that offensive drive. After they scored a touchdown, they had a great offensive drive. Then Timberlane comes back and looked like they were gaining some advantage, but Exeter saying, no way, we're going to come at you just as hard.
Mwangi gets off the kick just barely. McGinley was bearing down on him. Fair catch made by Exeter's Kenny Verhelli. The junior going to set up the Blue Hawks 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line with 2:23 to go before halftime. Speaking of, coming up at the break, on the field entertainment, the Timberlane Marching Band will perform.
Boy, they sound good.
We'll carry that for you. And then, of course, we'll break down the first half, preview the second with stats and highlights, and take a look around the state as well, as Week 5 gets underway tonight statewide. So a scoreboard look, all that coming up at halftime. First down and 10. Pafford on the rollout, going to tuck and run. Got room on that far sideline.
Looks like he's got a first down.
Going to skip his way out of bounds, I think about a yard or so shy, maybe 2 yards shy after an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, he must have kicked out of bounds before. I thought he churned up field and got a few more, but must have stepped out of bounds. So, like you say, Nick, 2 yards short. Nice job there running outside.
Pushed out of bounds by Liam Kelly of Timberlane.
Yep.
That'll stop the clock for the moment with 2:17 to go. Ball now on the Timberlane side of the 50. 2nd and 2 from the Owl 49-yard line. Timberlane going to bring 7 in the box. Exeter going to pitch. DeTore with speed. First down. Great cut at the 30. To be dragged out from behind by Baker inside the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 25. That's the longest run tonight for Exeter. It's a first down.
Big plays require usually 2 blocks, and he had him. He's got a kick out, and he's got a seal on the inside, so he can run. DeTore can completely run free all the way into the deep secondary, and he's going to be a hard guy to bring down as he showed there. Nice gain for Exeter. Well executed offensive play.
DeTore,
watch for a play-action pass here. Usually plays like that bring up the defense.
They go back to Moss on first down. Somebody lost a helmet. Moss not going to get much. 2 yards in a cloud of dust, so to speak. And now officially a 2nd down and 9 on the way as we hit the 2-minute mark here.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a play action, Nick. If you look there was a complete swarm, all 11 players in tight, in the box, coming up very early. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a play action pass. If they did there, chances are, if you look at the defensive movement towards the center on the fake or an actual handoff, it was all in the box mentality there. So that's usually when the play action pass is highly successful.
90 seconds. 2nd down and 10. A stick to the ground. Richards with a hole. Richards breaks through to the second level.
Just good interior blocking.
And a tough kid to bring down at the end of the run. It's a first down. A gain of, no. Did I speak? Yeah, I did. I got it right the first time.
Look at that up front blocking. Wow, great work.
First down.
Good ball protection. 2 hands on the ball.
It's Gary Schivel on the tackle.
Yeah, that's taught right there. And that was taught well. Coach Ball, this is a wing tee or a tee offense's dream to be going ahead, potentially going ahead, running a touchdown with 3 seconds left after the kickoff. That falls right into the way this game is supposed to be played with this offense.
Final minute, 1st and 10. Exeter in the red zone for the first time tonight. They keep it with the quarterback on a rollout. Pafford battling for yardage along that far sideline. He's tackled inbounds by a number of Owl defenders after a gain of 2. Clock going to continue to tick. And now Coach Ball is going to use his second timeout to stop the clock with just under 41 seconds
now
remaining.
Now it's burning. He wants a little time in the clock. He's got the timeout. Now he can reset. Talked upstairs a little bit. Talked to his players. Nice job, the Timberlane Owls. They're not going to go down easy. And they know how important it is to run the clock out before there's any touchdown scored and force them to maybe kick a field goal. So that's good job by Timberlane. This is a big play in the football game, this next play, Nick, right here. You got what? 2, maybe 8 to go, 2nd down. You can make a tackle line of scrimmage. Then at that point, you kind of say, well, you don't know if you want to run it or not. So that, if you're Exeter, so may force a pass, and if they can deflect that or create an incomplete.
Well, again, Exeter scored their lone touchdown in that first quarter through the air.
Yep.
A 51-yard hookup from Pafford to Moss. Timberlane responded with a 2-yard touchdown run early in this second quarter.
Yeah, it's a big play right here
from freshman Liam Corman.
Both teams, big play.
2nd down and 8.
Somebody's going to go inside the clubhouse with momentum here.
Ball at the 12-yard line. Blue Hawks looking to retake the lead. Pafford, handoff. Richards, a hole up the middle. And we hit and tackled by Corman, I think, shy of the first down. He's inside the 5, though. Marked down at about the 4.
Oh, wow.
And now another
official's timeout.
Whistle, and you're right. The referees, I think,
calling for a measurement, maybe?
Yeah. That's the referee, Jason Patch, who I don't believe, Steve, we've seen a flag at all tonight so far, and we're already
Jason's
basically
been
at
reffing
halftime.
for a long time. Started off at youth. Was a former director and president of the Pop Warner football organization in the state of New Hampshire. Goes back many, many years, and well, he's been officiating for at least since I think it was 2013 was the first time I saw him officiating. 13 or 14, maybe 14 was the first year. I'm not saying he wasn't before then. That's the first time I remember. So he's been doing this a while, and you want to get this right, Nick, as you move the ball to the center of the field. It is really close to a first down.
No flags. You get my approval. That's for sure. It's been the first
I couldn't agree with you
flown
more.
by here.
So they are out of timeouts, Nick.
No, they have 1.
Well, it's saying 0 up
Is
there.
it?
Yep. So I'll go by what you say.
I thought Exeter had 1 remaining.
Here we go.
28 seconds remaining. Pafford back under center on 3rd and inches. Ball inside the 4-yard line. Turns to his right.
He's
the
got
hand is for McGinley. Still alive near the goal line.
They're saying he's down.
And they're going to spot him just shy.
I don't know if there was a knee down there, Nick, or whatever. It looks like he fell into the end zone, But they're saying he was stopped beforehand, so.
Meanwhile, there's 16 and a half seconds frozen on the clock. They got to move the chains now, restart the clock, and here we go. Tick, tick, tick. Down to 12 seconds. Pafford under center. Got kind of a hard count here. Down to 8, down to 7 seconds. Going to hand back to McGinley, right side, trying to lean forward, looking for the goal line.
He's going to run out, Nick.
He is going to be short.
They're stopping the clock, and there was a timeout.
Exeter going to call a timeout, their final timeout, as I thought.
Don't
with
mess,
1.6 remaining.
Don't mess with Nick's timeout memory banks that he's got going on here. He's got, but it did say 0 on the clock.
I'm going to have a word with the scoreboard operator.
Yeah, I would say. I think I'm going to stay out of that conversation. But like I said, Nick, I'll go with Nick. You've been right before on that, and that is a big stop.
How about the timing by Bill Ball there? Keeping the last timeout handy when that play was blown dead. Then he calls his third and final timeout, preserving just 1.6. Enough time for one more snap on the way.
I was really surprised with a long count there, Nick, by Pafford, letting 5-6 seconds run off the clock. You've got second down, so you don't really need to do that because you got multiple tries at it, Nick, with that. So I don't know if that was by design or not. But you've now, instead of having maybe 2 plays left with that one timeout.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a fair point, right. Maybe.
You got, meanwhile, about what? 12, maybe 13 inches between the nose of the football and the goal line. Time for one more snap here before halftime. 1.6 seconds remain. Pafford under center for Exeter. Blue Hawks hoping to retake the lead at halftime. They go back to the quarterback. Pafford to his right. Touchdown, Exeter.
That's a hard-earned touchdown right there by the Exeter Blue Hawks. And a heck of a job trying to stop it by the Timberlane Owls. And that's kind of what we thought this game would be, Nick. A trench battle, a lot of hitting. What a great job by the right side of the offensive line here. You're going to see it. They got the insides. Watch the down blocking here. And the kick out. Oh, somebody on the right pushed the defensive lineman right into the end zone. Outstanding work. Watch this. 57. Just drive in 26. Drive winning the battle, Nick. That's what a good cadence call by Evan Pafford will do because you know the count, they don't.
Meanwhile, the game's first flag is going to be thrown here with no time remaining in this second quarter.
What a solid drive by the Blue Hawks, Nick.
One of the defensive linemen was in the neutral zone. So Exeter, if they accept, they're going to inch closer, but
trying to bargain for position, trying to
Moss,
get in the trenches, get an advantage.
Looks like is now going to line up about a yard closer than where he was. So this looks like an 18-yard extra point as opposed to maybe a 19 or a 20. Moss has got a great leg either way, already 1 for 1. Low snap, though. A good hold, and this one blocked. So Timberlane going to get a special teams victory to end the first half, but Exeter has the last laugh. They get the 6, they lead by 6, 13-7 at halftime.
And every point counts in these low-scoring battles, Nick, that you go through. And I'm trying to think of who gets the ball in the second half. Who kicked off to? I think it was Timberlane kicked off to Exeter.
Correct.
So Timberlane the Owls will get the ball coming out in the second half. So something there for both teams, but you got to give Exeter credit, Nick, on that drive. That was a very methodical drive. Very well called on down the field. Thought they had some play action opportunities open there. Chose to keep the ball on the ground. 2 hands on the ball all the way and really rely on the blocking capability. This trench battle has been going back and forth where it's advantage Exeter, then advantage Timberlane on either side of the ball. And it's just been like a seesaw battle of the physical trench warfare that goes on in a good football game with guys up front that know how to get it done and are well trained and have been in the weight room. We talked about hitting in this game. We saw it, and it was on display in the first half. That's about as quick a first half as it's an hour and 5 minutes.
Not even 50 minutes.
Not even, yeah.
So 50 minutes, that's the speediest.
Is that right? Yeah, 6:30. I'm thinking it was 6:15. You're right. 6:30, 50-minute half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only one flag, and that was at the tail end there on that extra point
Well,
track.
maybe the NFL, they said they want to get these games shorter. Maybe they should take a look at this game and see
They
how
should
it's
have
done.
a conversation with our referee, Jason Patch,
Yes.
for sure.
You bring up a really good point there, Nick, on the whole referees, letting the kids play.
Yeah.
For two reasons. They're letting the kids play, but it's a clean football game because these guys know how to avoid penalties. Both of these teams have a tremendous emphasis on technical excellence, and that's what happens. You have less penalties.
Plus, less interruptions to the game flow means a better game flow.
A better game flow. Offenses can get in
any
their rhythms
sport.
in any sport. The sport that drives me insane is pro basketball.
Well,
professional basketball.
Let's not veer too far off the track here.
All right. Well,
we wouldn't want to offend anybody. Coming up, just a few
no, I'm
moments.
talking about the referees injecting themselves into the game to the point where it gets out of control.
Yeah, that's a fair point. All right, got a lot of action going down here on the field over the next 20 minutes or so. A little bit of an expanded halftime to include recognition of the newest Hall of Famers amongst the Timberlane Athletic Hall of Fame. That ceremony was last night. Owl head coach Kevin Fitzgerald was a part of that committee, part of setting that up. And we've got the latest inductees down on the field being recognized and introduced to this home field.
So
then, of
nice.
course, we get the Timberlane Marching Band after that.
Absolutely. Boy, they sounded phenomenal in the opening national anthem, Nick. I would expect that to be a heck of a halftime show. Always been a good band, Nick. A lot of pride here at this school as far as the marching band. But so nice of Coach Fitzgerald to come off, go in his car and talk to us last night, give us a little bit of time.
Yeah.
His team looking very strong here against a powerful Exeter Blue Hawk team.
You want to check out that interview or any part of last night's FNL Gridiron broadcast that is on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. Again, Friday Night Lights on YouTube. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube, FNLNH Media. All right, we'll take a break, come back, crunch some numbers, take a look at the stats and some of the highlights from that first half. We'll recap the scoring and then take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as the Week 5 scores start to trickle in. Plus a look at tomorrow's broadcast. Battle in D2 between Sauhegan and Plymouth. So all of that on the way. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Let's hear it.
$13-7 is our halftime score. Exeter leading Timberlane in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas with Steve Beals, week number 5, and 2 of the top 5 teams in Division I, according to the latest New Hampshire Union Leader Power Poll.
You can see why.
An entertaining first half. It's in a lot of ways like we expected, right? A physical game. A lot of action, both sides of the line of scrimmage. Well officiated.
How about that Timberlane Owl Band? What a terrific
and of course,
halftime.
The cherry on the sundae, the Timberlane Marching Band doing a great job here at halftime. Steve, what jumped out in that first half?
What jumped out to me is the back and forth battle going on between the trenches, and how one team, didn't matter whether it was offensive line or defensive line, they both had their turns where they took over the game. And to me, the difference in the game was not the second drive. Second drive was just no mistakes really done on Timberlane. That was just an outstanding drive. Good play calling, good execution on the field, and the drive goes in. But the first 7 points to me is the difference in the game, and that was a breakdown in the defensive backfield on that play action pass. That should not have been a touchdown, if it was properly covered. And that, to me, was a difference in the game so far. And that you take those. Well, we'll say you take those 7 points away. Had to look at it that way, but it is the difference in the game to me. But both of these teams, from a physical standpoint, Nick, I didn't see any advantage of one over the other. Just two outstanding, well-coached football teams, very comfortable with their offense, very comfortable with their defense, and other than really one, maybe 2 plays between both teams, everything was executed to a T.
Exeter got on the board first with that big pass play that you mentioned, a 51-yard hookup between Brian Pafford and Ethan Moss. 7-0. That score came with just 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
One other thing I thought about, Nick, is the way that Bill Ball ran that second drive, where there wasn't even a kickoff left, is something that doesn't come easy. That's learned over a long time. He's an outstanding coach. He knows what the type of game he wants to manage, and he just did a terrific job not even allowing a kickoff with 8 seconds left for a run back, and that's closed-door football as he goes into the second half.
That was at the end of the second quarter. Of course, the quarter kicked off with a Timberlane touchdown. Liam Corman, the freshman, scoring his 8th of the year to tie the game at 7. And then Pafford leading his crew down the field. Coach Ball from the sideline using his final 2 timeouts, the second coming with just 1.6 seconds remaining. Set up the 1-yard touchdown run for Brian Pafford. The extra point with no time left was blocked.
Big one. Outstanding Timberlane rush.
And that is where we are at 13-7 Exeter. Both coaches last night talked a little bit about adjustments, some things that they may or may not have to change at the midway point of the game. Do you see any forthcoming adjustments either way?
Well, one of the adjustments I see is it appears, again, you never know how the defense reacts to it, and boy, Timberlane's defense looked very technically sound, good decision making. However, it did look to me as though there was a considerable amount of opportunities for them being Exeter to throw the play action pass, because it looked like they were all out on defending the run, and they were saying, go ahead and pass on me. But the speed and the reaction time of how Exeter, if they do run it, could be covered by them, by Timberlane, so you never know. That would be the one thing on the Exeter side. On the Timberlane side, if I was going to make an adjustment there, probably let Evan Pafford pass the ball even more. Not
Pafford, his counterpart.
I apologize. Capetta. Pass more. Sorry about that. That's one of the things I might have done, because his connection rate. What is his connection rate? It's pretty good. And as far as I don't think there were many passes that he missed.
Unofficially, I think 5 for 8.
Yeah.
In that first half,
but one of those was a drop pass right in the breadbasket. Right. So 6 for 8 right there is not bad at a high school level. To me, that's a strength. that I think he has, and they don't have to play action pass. They run out of the spread. And the other thing is, and again, this is off. I have nothing to say about both defenses. They did a superb job, Nick, other than that one breakdown we talked about earlier. But the last point I'll make is that I think that that Timberlane has an opportunity on those jet motions and then run Capetta back the other way. It has done well for them. And even when they've run jet motion and get outside, they've had some good off-tackle runs as well. But it's not a major thing either way. This is just a pounding game that's going to have to play itself out.
We remind you tomorrow, we're up in Plymouth for a big D2 showdown between Souhegan and Plymouth. Kickoff comes your way at 2 o'clock Eastern. We'll be on the air at about 1:45. Again, that's Souhegan trying to stay unbeaten against perennially tough Plymouth. All right, some Friday night scores. Steve, you ready?
Yep.
I know you were tipped off with a couple.
My good friend Pete.
We'll start there with Nashua North well on their way already to a 5-0 start. They're on top of Goffstown 64-7. That game is just before halftime, 64-7. Titans flexing their muscles tonight over a rebuilding Goffstown program.
Nothing seems to get better for Goffstown, Nick. It's just it's going to be a tough year, and
another team having a tough year is Nashua South. They're being shut out tonight by Bedford late in the first half, 27-0. Bedford keying in on their fourth win. Their lone blemish came opening night against the aforementioned Nashua North. Elsewhere in Division I, Pinkerton and Salem. That's a rivalry that
always plays tough.
Is black and blue, so to speak. Astros also looking to rebound after losing last week against Londonderry. So far, so good through 12 minutes. A 14-0 lead on the board for Pinkerton after the first quarter. There's no score through one out on the seacoast between Portsmouth and Dover. Green Wave trying to rebound from their lone loss last week. Portsmouth able to prevail in overtime.
That game has implications for playoffs big time.
They said it's 2-2.
Portsmouth's got to win this game in order to really have a good chance of staying alive, Nick, I think.
Concord, they've got an out-of-state foe on the schedule, taking on Rutland, Vermont. And midway through the first quarter, Concord holding a 7-6 lead, again over Rutland, Vermont. Memorial and Spalding going back and forth in the first half. Red Raiders trying to stay unbeaten. Early second quarter, Spalding's got a 12-7 lead over the Crusaders. Memorial looking for their first win after losing in overtime last week to Dover.
Not a bad football team, even though they're winless, Nick.
And
program's coming back.
One bonus score for you in Division III. Trinity and Campbell tied at 8. 8-8.
That's not surprising.
After one.
I believe that game is at Campbell as well, correct?
I believe so. So there you go. That is our halftime scoreboard. We'll have, of course, another rundown for you coming up after the game. All right, Timberlane, who kicked off to begin things here tonight, going to receive this third quarter kick, trailing 13-7. Ethan Moss going to swing the right leg, and this is a good deep end-over-end kick, fielded at the 15-yard line, tiptoeing up across the 25 to the 30. And no further goes the Timberlane return man, Jaden Mwangi.
Yeah, he had room to run there, Nick. You got to choose your lane and go for it because the blocks were there. And watch this. If we see it up front, at this point you got to make a decision. Let it develop to some point. But if he had shot immediately through the open seam, he would have got a lot further.
Sean DeLello tackled him from behind around the waist.
Yeah, there was some good blocks thrown up front there to give him a little bit of a wedge to go through.
So the Owls from their own 32-yard line, 1st and 10, Dom Capetta, handoff, Williams. A whole right side, planted at about the 35-yard line, a gain of 3. And a second down and 7. Both teams really, Steve, rotating ball carriers in that first half, and we expect more of the same here in the second.
Yeah. That run play right there, the second. That's two plays where runners were tentative, Nick, going through the hole. If you're going to be able to pin Exeter in the backfield, you've got to get through quicker. Lower your shoulder, let it happen.
Second down and 7. Capetta in the gun, man in motion is the freshman. It's a counter run, spin move, and a pretty good-looking run when it's all said and done for Ed DeGulio,
Yeah,
who has ran hard tonight. He's got the Owls within, it looks like, 1.5 yards of the first down marker, third down and short coming.
that was a totally different situation. Watch the way he runs through the hole. He lowers his shoulder. Nice spin move, holding on to the football. And number 66 comes up.
And finished him off.
Eli
Beam.
Eli Beam, exactly. What a nice
Eli and Isaac
hit, wrap, and drive there.
have seen action tonight for Exeter. Third down and officially 2. Coach Ball watching from the visitor sideline. They keep it in the quarterback's hands, and what a run here. This is Capetta, still on his feet, inside the 30. And dragged down inbounds at about the 27-yard line by the safety, Nolan Blakely. Big run there. That's the longest rush of the night for Capetta. Big first down there for Timberlane.
He's a big guy, and he follows his blocks exceedingly well. Look at him stretch the field out there, using every square inch of it to get a gain. Tries to cut inside. Good second hand grab there, because he might have been gone otherwise.
He's got a formidable stiff arm, too.
Look at this turn up field.
We've seen the stiff arm, too, as he able to shed a blocker. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. They're going to keep it with Capetta on 1st and 10 on a right side run, seeking the 25-yard line, able to lower the shoulder at about the 24, and is helped to his feet after the tackle by Richards. It's a 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. Capetta looks like he's a little shaken up. Walking very slowly.
Holding his midsection there. I don't know.
Back to the Owl huddle. This is a kid, of course, who missed some key moments last year. Leg injury late in the regular season kept him on the sidelines for the championship playoff run. Been healthy so far this year. Going to stay in here, grit his teeth, and bear it on the upcoming 2nd and 7. Handoff. Gorman, the freshman, gets the edge. 15, spun out of bounds at about the 12-yard line by Pafford. Another big run for Liam Corman. How about 8 touchdowns already on the season, including 1 here tonight? He's got another first down for Timberlane and has been running well.
I talked at halftime, adjustments for Timberlane, Nick, and that is the jet motion is there. There's a lot of movement on the interior to try to stack up against that line, and that's been there. They're starting to attack it right now. I also like Capetta off tackle as well, Nick, in cutting up field. And if they can get his arm in the game, this offense has the ability to rack up some points. This is a nice-looking drive working down the field, Nick. And if they tie it up here, we've got a heck of a game on our hands.
Clock stopped for the moment. Not sure why.
There was an injury, a temporary injury, and looked like either wind knocked out of him or something, but got up and got off the field. I'm sure that's why it was stopped.
2.5 gone by, 3rd quarter. Timberlane back in the red zone. Only moved it inside the 20 once in that first half, capped it off with a 2-yard touchdown. They keep it. Capetta near side on the counter, going to lean his way down inside the 10.
Boy, does he follow his blocks well, Nick.
Able to crawl down to about the 7-yard line, stopped by McGinley.
Watch this inside run here. He gets the seal block. It's very tight, small window, but he slides on the outside hips. Watch him when he comes through here. Oh, that's great pickup on the camera. Watch the inside block, slides inside, grabs himself 5, 6, 7 more yards after that. He's a gifted runner.
McGinley and the defensive end Ryan Graney, one of the biggest players on the field either way, in there on the stop. All right. Ball at the 6-yard line, a 2nd down and 3. DeGulio on an inside run. It's going to be stopped just short of the goal line.
I thought he was in, Nick. But somebody from Exeter, who was that tackled him?
I think it was O'Keen.
Yeah, let's see here. Whatever that was, he came up and stopped him in his tracks. Watch this.
Was it Ian O'Keen?
Oh, what a tackle. Number 26.
Oh, it's Moss.
Moss. What a terrific tackle by Moss.
He's been all over the football tonight. Of course, he scored the long touchdown for Exeter, the 51-yard hookup on offense, but defensively, starting to rack up some tackles here tonight.
That's a big tackle there. I wish John could have got a little better picture of that. Just joking, obviously. That's a great shot, John.
Direct snap, quarterback rush, touchdown Timberlane. It's Capetta, calls his own number down near the goal line. It's a 2-yard plunge, and the game is tied at 13.
Halftime. 13 points, have an opportunity to make it 14, Nick. Exeter's defense has been phenomenal. They don't let many scores in, and you got to give Timberlane credit here. They came to play tonight, as did Exeter. We've got a game on our hands here. Kind of as we expected.
Capetta's touchdown sets up the extra point attempt for the lead. Kick up and good from Harrison Bloom, and Timberlane has their first lead of the night as they set off fireworks here in Plastow following the latest Owl touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you, don't just judge the fans down on the stands, Nick. If you look out to the left and right here, this whole green area is just packed with kids having a heck of a time, supporting their team. True community event here in Plastow, and
as we expect,
just a nice job.
As we expected, the turnout tremendous again tonight. Really, no matter what the sport, we were here a couple of times in the spring for the boys lacrosse games and a pretty good output
Just
back then for the early afternoon games. But these primetime under the lights football games have really attracted the community here. It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. I know we're a day early, but don't tell that to the Timberlane students. The standing student section to my left is all in pink to promote breast cancer awareness.
Lost my grandmother to that awful disease. Early detection is such a deterrent with the technology today, and awareness is key. And it's a great month to celebrate that awareness and early detection and remediation of that awful disease, and for our moms, our sisters, cousins, everybody in our community. It's very important.
Well said. Moss on the return for Exeter across the 20 to his left at the 25. Trying to break a tackle at the 28 and is stomped out at about the 29-yard line. Good coverage by Timberlane's Ryan Contos, the senior, in on the stop. So Exeter will begin first and 10 at their own 29, and the Blue Hawks, for the first time tonight, find themselves trailing with nearly 4 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
Yeah, extra point missed at the end of the first half, Nick, looming large, at least at this point. We'll see how that plays out in the scoring for the game, but it does look like Timberlane has a kicker that could kick a three-point field goal at a pretty fair distance.
I think both kickers have pretty good legs, Bloom and Moss.
Yep.
Inside give on first and 10, McGinley able to slither across the 30.
Physical battle going on in the trenches.
That's actually Richards, not McGinley.
Look at the physicality here in the trenches. Look at this. This is just two teams stacked up against each other. Sheer brute force, push of war, as they say.
I think every tackle tonight has featured 3 or 4 different players.
Yeah, nobody's shying away here. There's a lot of pride in this game.
A lot of gang tackling and great pursuit both ways.
Without a doubt.
3-yard gain, second down and 7. Against 7 in the box for the Owls. Pafford bobbles the ball, recovers, spins, and then falls down at the 22-yard line. Another win for the Timberlane defense. Caleb Moley, one of the sophomore captains, again has played well along the edge, finds himself in the backfield, and now Exeter facing 3rd and 16 for the second time tonight.
Yeah, they got sophomore and a freshman having key impact in this game. When you have that, you've got a program.
Really a couple of sophomores. Moley, we mentioned the starting right tackle, who's also a captain in Cam Zambrowitz, and Coach Fitzgerald was very high on the underclassmen when we spoke with him last night. Of course, the seniors get the headlines, and rightfully so, but there's some talent underneath.
On both of these programs, their youth programs are excellent.
Meanwhile, on 3rd and 16, Steve, they're going to punt on 3rd down and send this one sky high. It's going to land at the 30, roll on the near sidelines, out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
He's upset, but he did the right decision, Nick, letting that ball go with a couple of Blue Hawks coming down.
That's Baker,
100 miles an hour. That's smart.
Who ended up being the return man. But the 3rd down punt does catch Timberlane a little flat-footed, and I suppose in the end works out for Exeter. It's 1st and 10, Owls from their own 21-yard line.
Yeah, if there's ever a coach in Division I that know field position football, it's Coach Ball. You do not see that very often, but he picked up about 50, 60 yards there. Didn't like the way things are going on the offense, and we'll see how it works out.
Nearly midway through the third quarter. Back to the air on 1st down and nearly intercepted. Pafford jumps in front of the intended target, Baker, and nearly had himself a pick six. Couldn't pull it in. Second down and 10.
Dream of a quarterback who plays safety or corner can come up and intercept his opponent on the field. That's a big deal. Almost had it there. Looked to me like that ball kind of sailed a little bit high and just the velocity wasn't there. Kind of hung just a little bit. Watch it here. Yeah, his feet, he looked like he released it a little bit high, and that gave Pafford just enough time to recover, almost to make a pick six.
Second down and 10, DeGulio on a counter. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Again, a host of Exeter defenders in the hole, including Isaac Beam, the junior.
Coach Ball, third down and call it 10 still. Had about a 45-yard kick advantage, kick gain there on field position on that third down kick, Nick. He's going to look real good if they stop it here.
I mean, he essentially flipped the field on that 3rd and 16 punt. Just past the midway point, third quarter. Timberlane trying to hold on to the ball in a 1-point lead. Capetta tap dancing. Going to run now, being chased from behind and dropped just shy of the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's just, at that point, the routes have been running full. There's nothing really left to go. Then it becomes backyard football, Nick. Too risky in a game like this. Just tuck it and run. He was looking for something. One more time as they finish their routes on the right side. Then he tucks it and runs, says nope. And that's just a smart job by Capetta. Both of these quarterbacks, Nick, have showed good decision-making so far and discipline.
Owen Simon, the defender who hunted him down in the end. In on the stop for Exeter. 5 minutes, third quarter. Punt time again. Mwangi is inside his own 10-yard line, standing at about the 9. 2 return men back deep for Exeter. Clean snap and a clean punt. Handling at midfield is Kenny Verhelli, able to cross the 50 into Owl territory at about the 46-yard line. So
25-yard field position gain by that third down punt, Nick.
And only a little more than a minute off the clock.
That's what happens when both teams have outstanding defenses, and you can count on them when you need them. And the Blue Hawk D stood up tall there.
Forces the 3 and out. They get the ball back at the Owl 47. Exeter down by 1. Looking for their first points since halftime. Pafford under center on his second drive of this third quarter. 7-man front, 7-man box. Richards on the pitch. And across inside the 45. Stopped shy of the 40 at about the 41.
Was that Richards?
I believe so. Richards has become kind of the go-to guy. We saw Dettori get banged up in the first half. His status is unknown. Of course, Moss and McGinley have touched it as well. But suddenly Richards kind of shaping out to be the go-to guy here for Exeter in the second half.
Yeah, he's been the workhorse so far for sure.
4-yard gain there to set up second down and 6.
Look for some sort of a play action here at some point. They're stacked in pretty tight on both sides.
Coming up on 4 minutes, third quarter. Inside give, McGinley, 2 hands around the football, spins his way inside the 35, still on his feet at the 30. Before he's finally brought down by about 8 different Owl defenders.
Well, he literally lifted a couple of them right off the cleats off the ground. Watch here, Nick. He almost lifts them up on their toes and is able to establish low position on it. Watch. He goes down low here and then lifts. Watch him as he comes out of it. He literally lifts these guys right up, gains body position and control, grabs another 4 to 5 yards.
A little push from his friend Eli Beam.
Well, that never hurts.
One of the O-linemen at the tail end of that run.
Yep.
Looked like a rugby scrum. Inside of 4 minutes, third quarter. 1st and 10 from the Owl 30-yard line. Exeter back on the march. Hand to Moss, left side's got some room. Still going inside the 25. Stood up at the 21 and dropped there.
Yeah, they're determined. Blue Hawks playing like they feel like they shouldn't be in this position. They want to change the score, tie it up, change the dynamic of this game. And they're working. Their running backs are running hard. And don't forget, they're getting through the hole, Nick. They're not big holes, but they're established holes, and they can get through that seam. And, boy, you get them in the backfield, they're hard to bring down.
And how about the yards after contact? To your point, just moving piles consistently. Moss gets 9 there to set up a second down and 1 inside of 3 minutes, third quarter. Exeter knocking on the door of the red zone. Trailing here 14-13. Pafford, another long count. Takes the snap, pitch left. Richards has the first down.
Yep.
Inside the 20. Going to lean forward down to the 19, maybe the 18-yard line.
Great defense and then clock-killing, slow-moving, first down marker moving drives. And that's just Bill Ball vintage football.
Steve waxing poetic here late in the third quarter. The wordsmith, I like it.
Don't expect much more. That's all I got.
Braden Paris, by the way, one of the more emotional players defensively for Timberlane, in on the stop there along the boundary.
Yeah, these keep the defense on the field, Nick. You can wear them down. That's exactly what this kind of a drive does.
Ball at the 18-yard line, first down and 10. Exeter back in the red zone. Handoff up the middle. I think that's McGinley. It is. And he's down inside the 15 before it's all said and done. Maybe the 14. Another good lead block by the tight end, Ryan Graney. Haven't talked about him a whole lot.
No, but he's an
tonight.
impact player.
Always has to be accounted for, really, on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Able to push the pile up front. And he's got a big frame, as we know, 6'3", 240. All right, Exeter on the march. A second down and 6 officially. Final 100 seconds of this third quarter. Pafford under center. He's been in command of the drive. Takes the snap. They go to Moss, left side. Moss trying to bounce to the far sideline. Very close to a first down. And a flag is going to fly for just the second time tonight. We saw one penalty on the final play of the first half. We see the first flag of this third quarter.
I'm assuming it's an out of bounds. I didn't think it was out of bounds, but we can't really tell from this side of the field.
May have been a late hit.
We'll see it. Yep. Here we go.
That would be my guess. As again, Moss, no room there, trying to bounce it to the outside, and then a little too rough maybe on that sideline.
I don't know. I didn't really see it here. Maybe we'll see it better here. I didn't see anything that looked out of order there. Yeah, not going to see it there. Huh. Well, it's hard to know where the sideline was. And okay, so it was the opposite. It was offensive. Again, I know I don't. Maybe we can't get the replay, but if we could see that, you're going to see at the end of that play. Here we go. Thank you. We're going to see at the end of this play, Nick. Watch here with the right arm of the Exeter running back. Watch him at the end here. He throws him down and then grinds him in the ground, and that's where the call was right there. Excellent job, Craig.
That's a keen eye by you, Steve. I don't know if that's a penalty, to be honest with you, but
unnecessary roughness certainly, in my view, falls within the category. I don't know as I would have called it in a tight game like this.
Right. In a game where we've seen one penalty?
Yeah, they're right down there, so I always defer. I think the refereeing tonight has been outstanding.
It has, but
we're going to let that one go.
Yeah, Richards on the catch. Going to get some of that yardage back for Exeter.
The officiating, excuse me.
At about the 15-yard line, he'll step out of bounds.
Now, the officiating's been outstanding tonight. Was a little over-exuberant throw down on the ground, but we'll leave it at that. It doesn't look to me like it's a big barn burner, Nick. It's fourth down.
It's costly, though, because now it's fourth down.
That's a fair point. And that's going to be a kick of about, what, 15, 32-yarder. Yep.
32-yarder for Ethan Moss.
He has the leg, no question.
He's 1 for 2 on extra point tries. The miss was a block. That's a good snap. A good kick. It's up and good.
What a great kick.
A 32-yard field goal for the senior Ethan Moss has got Exeter back on top, 16-14 with 1:20 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, after our private predictions, after Gridiron, you and I talked with Ben, Nick, about our thoughts on the game, and that field goal is kicking right into my score that I predicted. It's not there yet, but the numbers are in play there. We'll see what happens, but it's just, I don't know, Nick, we both thought it was going to be a close game, and it certainly is so far. All of us did.
Well, the recap, Exeter got on the board first. The 51-yard hookup between Brian Pafford and Ethan Moss. Moss's extra point was good. 7-0 was the Exeter lead after one quarter. 4 minutes into the second, Timberlane's Liam Corman gets in the end zone for the 8th time this season. Extra point good there, 7-7. And then at the end of the first half, Exeter marching just outside the goal line with less than 2 seconds. They used their final timeout. And then on the final play, able to get a 1-yard touchdown run from Pafford Extra point blocked. 13-7 was Exeter's lead at halftime. Dom Capetta on the opening drive for Timberlane of the third quarter leads the Owls down the field, caps off the touchdown drive with a 2-yard plunge to give Timberlane their first lead of 14-13. And then Ethan Moss a moment ago, a 32-yard field goal. He's got the visiting Blue Hawks back on top.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Williams on the kick return is across the 25, able to tiptoe his way up to the 28, and the Owls will start there 1st and 10.
For those looking on a kick return, watch the replay here. You're going to see it, Nick, where he does a great job waiting for his blocks to develop. Then he starts to shoot his vector. He's got to play. We're going to see it right here. Watch this. If we see it slow, he does a great job. Look at all vision downfield. Good job. Watch him. Then he chooses. Bang. Now he goes. You got to keep going. And he stops again. He slows down. You got to go full speed all the way through. And Exeter did a great job of grabbing his feet. And
shoestring tackle,
but he wouldn't have got that if he stayed full speed through.
1st and 10 from their own 28. DeGulio in motion. Capetta takes a low snap from the gun, calls his own number, right side run, turns upfield at the 30, and it's spun down at about the 32-yard line.
Both of these teams tackle so well.
I think Pafford got him that time.
Yep. Yeah. Boy, take your pick with Pafford. Both sides of the ball, Nick. Yeah. He's just an outstanding football player.
We know he's an athlete
so
as well,
smart.
as we mentioned, one of their better basketball players in the wintertime. Final minute here,
and a
third
relative
quarter.
of Coach Pafford.
That's correct. It's his uncle.
Yeah.
Is Brian Pafford, same namesake as we know, the head coach of Portsmouth. And his father, of course, played for Portsmouth back in the day.
So football in the DNA there.
2nd down and 6. Back to the ground. DeGulio, shake and bake, spin move in the hole.
Boy,
gonna
hard-earned yardage.
Stretch this across the 35 to about the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
Yeah, these games, I just love these kind of games, Nick, where they're close like this. And touchdowns don't come easy. They come hard, and you got to work for it. I like these kind of games.
I agree.
And both of these teams are just giving us a show tonight, not giving up.
Third
both
down.
teams believe they're the better team.
And one coming up, Steve, when we come back, because that is the end of the third quarter.
Went by like a rocket.
Timberlane briefly held the lead after a 2-yard touchdown from Dom Capetta. The 32-yard field goal from Ethan Moss, though, has Exeter back out in front. It's 16-14, and down the stretch they come when we come back. Fourth quarter is next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
12 minutes remaining in regulation. Fourth quarter on the horizon. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Back and forth we have gone tonight between arguably two of the top 5 teams in the state. Timberlane at 3-1. Trying to get to 4-1 if they can defend their home field. Exeter hoping to remain unbeaten when the night is over and improve to 5-0. Exeter held leads of 7-0 after one, 13-7 at halftime. Trailed briefly in that third quarter. Right now the difference is a 32-yard field goal from Ethan Moss. 16-14. Both teams have run the ball well at times tonight. And to your point, Steve, defensively, the tackling has just been exceptional.
It's as good as I've seen all year, Nick. Very proficient and done with, we talk about this all the time, knowing your assignment, knowing your responsibilities and being there, and then following through with the passion and the heart inside to finish plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Meanwhile, a critical 4th down and 1 on the way for Timberlane from their own 37-yard line. Exeter trying to get off the field if the defense can find a way to stop Timberlane here. Capetta under center. It's a quarterback sneak, and the senior's got it.
He's got it.
First down and then some. Able to muster enough yardage there across the 40 to the 41-yard line. When it's all said and done, nearly a 4-yard gain on the sneak to keep the drive alive with a minute now gone by, fourth quarter.
So, a little early in the game to be talking about this, but let's just say Capetta can take his team down in the end zone, Nick, for 6. What do? Do you go for 2 here and try to make it extend the score a little bit, or so you go 22 rather than 21?
Yeah, because I don't think there's a big difference between a 4-point lead and I'd rather be up 6 than 4. Meanwhile, big connection here.
This is what I was talking about
earlier. A 20-yard
earlier.
hookup. DeGulio gets in front of the safety, Bleakley. First down in Exeter territory at the 43-yard line.
I mean, I like Capetta on the outside pass patterns, Nick. Don't get me wrong. I like him. But I really love the way he sets and throws downfield. It's his best throwing lanes in between the hashes, I think. Look at that. Just terrific pass. Right on the money. Right on the numbers. Very difficult to defend. But at that height advantage, Nick, he's got great vision downfield. He can see the ball well, see his receivers well.
And off inside, Williams, the sophomore, with a little spring in his step. Inside the 35, close to a first down at about the 33-yard line. They're going to blow it dead. And it may depend on the spot here. He gets at least 9 on that inside run. The sophomore Williams has made the most of his touches tonight.
That play's done well for them tonight, Nick. It's you don't know what's going to happen. He's a jet motion, and then all of a sudden he turns on the inside hip of Capetta and then runs right into the 1 or 3 hole, depending on how the blocking scheme works. And the offensive line's doing a nice job giving him some room.
A little short of the first down marker, second down and less than a yard. Back to the inside. DeGulio trying to hit the gas. One man to beat at the 10. Touchdown, Timberlane. DeGulio, a 33-yard touchdown run, has got the home team back out in front, 20-16.
And if you, Nick, want to see what I mean when I say running through the hole, getting through the line of scrimmage full speed, you're going to see it right here. Watch him get through the line quick and turn on the gas and never let it go. Look at that. Never, ever let it go. What a great job by the offensive line. Good effort there defensively, but he was just too far over into the corner there.
All right, Steve, to answer your question about the 2-point try, Timberlane is...
That's why I was asking earlier.
Going to go for 2 here. They've got a 4-point lead on the board, trying to make it 6. Shotgun snap, throw left side. They're going to whistle this dead.
Flag.
This one is blown dead. The ball was caught by Mwangi.
Well, chances are that's obviously an offensive penalty, which it is.
It's a false start against the Owls.
I'm wondering, let's see if in the replay here, if it in fact was the receiver. Looks to me like they are calling it on him. We'll see. Maybe we'll see this.
Coach has got another decision to make. Do you still go for 2 here after the 5-yard penalty? It looks like he will. Coach Fitzgerald, now in his 15th season as head coach with Timberlane, was an assistant for a long time before that as well.
You know what I like about Coach Fitzgerald is how he always is giving accolades and appreciation for the mentors that he had. He always appreciate that.
Meanwhile, substitution problem. Mwangi trying to sprint to the sideline. That's got Coach Fitzgerald upset.
Well,
and he just had to burn a timeout there.
Yeah, and then this kind of game, timeouts are gold, Nick, when you get down to the end of the first quarter.
He's upset.
He's very upset, and you can't blame him for that. You know, everybody's got to be dialed in here, and he's letting him know right now, as he should.
A little communication issue.
Yep.
Again, both teams have been very crisp tonight from an execution standpoint. Just 1 penalty each way through now 3+ quarters as we get a look inside of both huddles.
Inside of both huddles. This is great job by John and Craig. Outstanding work. A lot of communication going on. You want to make sure whatever you got planned here, Nick, it's executed right. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying about the 2-point try. You want the 2 here.
You do.
You want the 6-point lead because
but is it worth it?
Little insurance. If you give up a touchdown later, the extra point would then become the tiebreaker, literally. But either way, you got your field goal lead is protected with the 4-point margin.
It really depends on whether you think you're going to score again or not.
I think 6 is a lot better than 5.
So don't I. I could not agree with you.
In terms of a lead, and I think Coach Fitzgerald's in agreement.
Yeah, especially with a quarterback with that arm.
Handoff is dropped. Looks like a counter. Yeah. And then on the second handoff, the ball ends up on the ground. It's recovered by the Timberlane defense. Corman able to fall on it. Or, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. Corman fell on it for the offense, but the 2-point try is no good.
To me, Nick,
the Owl lead remains 20-16, nearly 3 minutes into this fourth quarter.
Just never, ever really took off well.
That's the touchdown run.
That's the touchdown run, yep. And that was a good one. Look at that. He just bolted through the hole. That's how you want your running backs when they see a little daylight, run full speed.
The edge got demolished as well.
Outstanding blocking.
Again, the sophomore, number 51 in maroon with a big block.
On the extra point, Nick, really quick on the extra point, I really like the idea of putting a couple 3 receivers in the end zone, let Capetta shoot a dart at him right there, because I think he's been getting it done, especially if it's in the middle of the field in a cross pattern or something. Had a little room there for him to run, too. So
instead, Timberlane tried to keep it on the ground.
Just takes too long.
Didn't work.
Those reverses. And
all right, the Owls going to play with the lead for the second time tonight, second time in the second half. Exeter finds themselves trailing. Nearly 3 minutes in, 2016 is the home team's lead. This kick is a little short. Going to take a bounce at the 20. Fielded on the move by the return man who comes up to make the play. That's
number 3. Yep.
Stopped by Baker, who's got another tackle for Timberlane. He's been playing hard tonight on both offense, defense, and special teams.
And let's not underestimate the intelligence that it was to kick that ball to nobody. You do not want a clean reception by the kick returner, Nick. Coach Fitzgerald that's a heck of a tackle, but the reason it is it gives that extra second for the strikers to get down there.
1st and 10 from their own 29. A counter stuffed. Second try, though. Moss finds some room, able to slither his way back to the middle of the field before he's tackled by the sophomore Moley. In the end, a 5-yard gain, what looked like a busted play, sets up a 2nd down and 5.
I think you're going to see Coach Ball continue to try to burn clock as he always does, but he's really going to want to probably slow it down. But always watch out for that play-action pass.
2nd down and 5. The play-action pass is responsible for the longest play either way tonight, a 51-yard touchdown that got Exeter on the board late in that first quarter.
It was extremely well-timed call, Nick. Very, very good call from...
We'll stick with the run game here.
Yeah.
And not get much. Pafford calls his own number, only gets a yard, 3rd down and 4.
But there have been other opportunities for play-action pass in this game. Coach Ball believing that it is best situation away here on this field with this very solid Timberlane defense to keep it on the ground and trust in that conservative clock-killing play.
4 minutes gone, fourth quarter. Big 3rd and 3 here for Exeter. Timberlane going to bring 7 in the box. Pitch, right side. Richards going to be hit.
He's close.
And I think he's a little short.
He's a little short, I believe.
Needed 4. I think only got 3 on that right side toss. He is short. 4th down and inches on the way. Well, Timberlane has been very good tonight defensively. On the edge in particular. Moley, the sophomore, again able to hold it down. So, 4th and inches. This seems like a no-brainer for the longtime ball coach, Bill Ball. Now in his 30th season, going to keep the Exeter offense on the field, despite the ball being inside their own 39.
Watch the play in the trenches here. See who gets the best push.
4th down and a yard. Handoff. McGinley's got a hold, got a first down, and then some. He's going to break it loose. Being hunted from behind by Williams at the 20-yard line, brings it all the way down to the 15. McGinley with a big run and then a big roar at the end of the
sold
run.
out on Timberlane, Nick, to go in for the tackle. Everybody was moving up front. And the only problem with that, there's nobody left. But, boy, what a great job running him down from behind But let's give Exeter credit right here. That's just a big hole. Nice cut back and field. What I really like is holding onto that football with two hands as he's going through traffic. That's just an outstanding job.
Senior's got some size to him. It's 6 feet, 205.
You know, we talk about assignment football, Nick, and then this thing called situational football. And this is not a time that you want to turn the ball over. And these guys are highly disciplined when they run the ball.
Exeter back inside the red zone, trailing here 20-16, looking to retake the lead. Richards trying to bounce it right side, going to rumble his way down to the 12-yard line.
He's come on strong.
And leave a few Timberlane defenders in his wake.
Yep.
I think it was Baker who wrestled him down in the end out of the secondary. We're midway through the fourth quarter, and the clock is ticking. Exeter looking to retake the lead for the third time tonight. This is a drive that began back at their own 29-yard line. Back under center is Pafford. And with now a whistle here, and a timeout is called by Timberlane. So the Owls are left with just one remaining. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also, by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Ghost Energy. Ghost is an active lifestyle sports nutrition brand that powers users to be seen beyond the walls of the gym. So be seen with Ghost Energy. Second down and 6 out of the timeout. Movement along the line, and this penalty
looks like encroachment.
Maybe against Timberlane.
That's a costly penalty there. Pretty well flag-free, Nick, through about 2.5, 3 quarters.
Just one penalty each way.
Just one penalty each way, and now all of a sudden
this one going to cost the Owl defense 5 yards. Tough one to swallow, especially out of a timeout.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of emphasis on cadence. If you're going to run this T offense, you got Evan Pafford, I know, does a great job. I watched him on film. He draws a lot of offsides, Nick. He's just a technician at calling cadence, and he gets a lot of benefit and a lot of production out of it.
From 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 1. Ball just outside the 5-yard line. Handoff left side. This is Moss. Got some room. Looking for the goal line. Touchdown, Exeter. Moss, the senior. His second touchdown tonight. His first on the ground. Has got the Blue Hawks back out in front, 22-20.
You almost get the feeling, Nick, the last person with a football is going to win this game, and those are the great games to play. But watch how the defensive line, because of the encroachment penalty there, Nick, was stymied a little bit by the cadence. Exeter clearly got off the ball, was able to establish low position and the body position angle they needed to provide opportunity for that run to go.
71-yard scoring drive, capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by Ethan Moss, and just for good measure, Moss adds one more with his foot. He's now 2 for 3 on the extra point tries, and the difference is now a field goal, 23-20. With less than 6 minutes to go here, buckle up, folks. We should be in for a great finish here in Plastow.
So if Timberlane was able to execute that 2 points, then at that point there, it's a 1-point ball game. But have they chosen to kick that field goal, right? It'd be a 2-point ball game, and a field goal would be able to win the game as opposed to tie it at this point. So it's it was a factor either way in that decision.
Well, I think if they kicked the field goal and went up 5, the extra point, kicked the field goal and went up 5, Timberlane.
Yep.
Exeter responds with 6. I think Coach Ball probably goes for 2 there,
right,
instead of 1.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
So again,
just a good tight game between two great teams.
No matter what.
It's
possibility.
Easy to Monday morning quarterback,
right,
but when you're in the position,
we're in for I think a one-score game when it's all said
no
and
question.
done.
At the end of the day, who has it last?
As we expected, by the way.
Yep.
Here's a pooch down the middle. Played off the third hop. Williams across the 25.
Oh, nice tackle.
Spun down after he reaches the 30 at about the 31. That's Richards again making a play for Exeter. All right. Blue Hawks going to have to come up with a stop here. Timberlane has scored 2 touchdowns, Steve, in this second half.
Yep.
And the offense has looked pretty good as of late. We get another look at that run back by the sophomore Williams. All right. Decent starting field position. About what they've been used to dealing with tonight. Right around their own 30, 35. They're at their own 32. Low snap. Picked up off the ground and then handed to Williams, the sophomore, trying to make a man miss and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Along east-west run that results in no gain.
Well, the snap was low and just took way too long to develop. Probably should have just turned the ball upfield, go right in the belly of the defender and try to grab some yardage, but he tried to get outside.
Meanwhile, Williams leaving the field with a bit of a limp.
Yeah, that's not
slow to get up.
Valuable player.
After that tackle was made
here
here on
right
the near
upfield
side.
then.
A good job by Pafford, though, to force.
It really was. He's
to turn up.
Pafford's been a real effective player on offense and defense tonight, Nick. Such a smart, impressive player.
And, of course, Richards in pursuit. Officially giving credit for the tackle. Another low snap. Throw, catch made. This is Shivel.
He's third and 5,
yeah,
maybe.
He's got him in third and manageable, let's say. The sophomore, who, by the way, took over for Capetta last year when Capetta went down. They threw the freshman Shivel into the fire, and he delivers a championship from the quarterback spot. Now making a play as a receiver tonight, the sophomore sets up officially a 3rd down and 6 as we move inside of 5 minutes to go.
Another fun game last year to be here when we were here in Timberlane.
It was a nail-biter against Milford. And a preview of the D2 championship. Shotgun, Capetta. Going to keep it himself. Makes a man miss. Seeking the marker. He's got it. 1st down, Timberlane.
They're going to run the clock there. He didn't go out of bounds.
Tackled inbounds, shy of the 45. Gets enough, though, to move the chains.
Coach Fitzgerald doesn't mind a little clock burning in these situations himself. We'll see how they approach this. If they recognize, if they want, 4:46 and counting, Nick.
Moss, another tackle for Exeter. He's got to be up unofficially at 10, 11 tackles tonight.
Capetta, such a weapon offensively.
Yeah, he's
got it all. He can run, he can throw.
He has carried his share of the load, we'll put it that way, in both the ground and the pass game. Inside run to Guglio. 1st down and then some. 30, 25, cuts it back middle and is tackled inside the 20. Eddie DeGuglio starting to rip off some big runs for the home team.
Yeah, they faked the jet motion. They run that inside counter, Nick, and the blocking was outstanding. Exeter likes to flow to the ball, but they're traditionally very disciplined. That time, 72 was able to push him out. And boy, did he go through the hole well.
Yeah, that's Exeter's.
Both of these teams execute so well, Nick. Is it any surprise we're sitting here in a 23-20 game with 4 minutes left? None whatsoever.
Back and forth, several lead changes in the second half.
A lot of fun.
Had a 13-7 lead at halftime.
He's got the edge.
Capetta on 1st and 10. Hit by Pafford. Pafford on his back as he lands at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 4. Set up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, anytime your quarterback runs the ball, you want to go over when he's in the ground, Nick, in the 4th quarter, especially second half, and help him up. You want him to be fresh because he's running on and off the field every single play.
Right.
And he goes in there and works hard for yardage, and you want to help him out. Don't let him get up on his own.
Coming up on 3 minutes. 2nd down and 6 from the 14-yard line.
Expending a tremendous amount of energy with this drive.
Going to put him in the gun here. DeGuglio to his right. 2 receivers short side right. Handoff to Guglio. Not much. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job,
O'Kane was right there for Exeter.
Yeah, boy. Exeter's defense stiffening up here as they get down inside the red zone.
O'Kane, one of the bigger bodies along that defensive line for Coach Ball.
So if for some reason they don't get a first down here, you got a decision to make. Do you want to try to tie it up with a good kicker or what? We'll see what happens.
3rd down and 5.
Or do you go for it in 4th down and try to go for the win?
It may be a moot point if they can move the sticks. Shotgun snap, they keep it with Capetta. Left side, trying to cut it up, tackled.
They did it.
By Bleakley, very close to the first down.
I think they stopped it, Nick. I think he's short.
Had to get to the 10. They're going to mark him just outside the 11-yard line. So 4th down and 1.
So here we go.
Clock, for the moment, continuing to tick down towards 2 minutes. They want to try this. It'd be about a 29-yarder. They're going to keep the offense, I think, on the field here. They like the 4th and 1. Capetta in a long conversation with the longtime head coach Kevin Fitzgerald on the home sideline.
That's a long one if it is. That looks to me like a solid.
I think coach might be thinking about using his final timeout here as well in apparently no hurry.
Yeah.
Down to now 100 seconds, and he's going to call a timeout right now.
Yeah, he wants to go out there
left.
and hand deliver the assignments to every single player in the field with what his plan is for the play that he wants to run.
The ship captain.
Yep.
Talking to the mates down there on the field in the huddle. Biggest play of the game on the way. Reminder, after the game, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, and a look at the out-of-town Week 5 scoreboard as well. That's all on the way whenever this one wraps up, whether it's in regulation or potentially in overtime. We've not seen an overtime game yet this year, Steve.
Coach Fitzgerald knows exactly. He knew what he was doing 2 plays ago, Nick, in the situational element of the decision-making that he as a head coach has to make. And what does he do? Smart things. Both of these guys are great clock managers, Nick. If you watch the way both of these coaches have done it today, this is a demonstration of how you manage a game from your team's perspective as it relates to the clock.
And as you said, it comes with experience. A combined 45 years of head coaching experience between the two.
Here we go. Not the ball game, but it could be.
And 1. Timberlane trailing 23-20. The ball at the 11-yard line.
You got to believe Capetta's going to run it.
He's going to take the snap. They're going to hand in the middle to Gulio. Touchdown, Timberlane! An 11-yard touchdown run. Coach Fitzgerald dials up the right play, and the home sideline goes bananas with 1:37 remaining.
Blazing. Nick, that play has worked for them. I saw it get tackled for a 2-yard gain one time. Everything else has either been a breakthrough of a touchdown run or 7, 8, 9, 10 yards they've been able to get on that play. Well executed. The blocking scheme just worked for them. This is a big extra point.
Trying to go up 4. Right now a 26-23 lead on the board. High snap, good hold. Kick is up and good from Harrison Bloom. And the Owl lead is now 27-23 as the fireworks continue to explode overhead here in Plastow.
But the thing about this year, Nick, they have Evan Pafford who can fire the ball. They do have a passing attack. So the 137 is coupled with 3 timeouts because Coach Ball hasn't taken one yet. He's got a lot of arrows in his quiver to use in this remaining time. It's going to be a tall task with this Timberlane defense. But, boy, that 4-point lead requires a touchdown, Nick.
Our 5th lead change tonight, all in the second half.
We all said whoever had the ball last wins the game, but we'll see about that.
Terrific hole.
Well, this kickoff is huge. I mean, field position here is really important for a running T offense like that, wing T offense like that. They really got to get a good run back here. It's going to be interesting what the kicking team does here. I find it very doubtful that they're going to kick it directly to either one of those receivers.
And, of course, there's always potentially the danger of kicking it out of bounds.
Yep.
As well,
up to the 40.
You do not want to do that if you're Timberlane's Harrison Bloom.
If you are Timberlane, you do not want to give Coach Ball with this timeouts and what's left a short field. You do not want to do that.
Still with 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
They're going to kick it
37 to go. It's fielded on the run. And here he comes, Verhelli across the 30, but no further than the 31-yard line. Big stop there by the kick coverage of Timberlane.
High school football, if you can keep it inside the 30, you're doing really well. So that's a big kickoff. Special teams here, and both of these teams have been very solid tonight.
DeGulio giving credit with the tackle. They're going to spot it at the 31-yard line. So 93 seconds remaining here in regulation. Exeter again with all 3 timeouts. They've trailed now 3 different times in this second half.
Sidelines, Timberlane very animated here with the coaching staff.
Baffert under center on first down and 10 against a 4-man front. Long count, takes the snap, pitch right side. This is just the second carry tonight for Desmond Rugg. And Rugg able to slip his way along the sideline. I'm sorry, not Rugg, but Moss. And they do give him a first down. He gets 11.
And that play is all designed so he can get the yardage that's available, work towards getting a first down, move the chains, which they did, and get out of bounds. So it was never a question. Watch.
That was Rugg, by the way, not Moss.
He shoots for the outside, runs right along the line so he can stop the clock, because they know with 1:35, you got to be very careful with the clock.
Heady play by the 5'10 senior.
Yep.
First and 10. Ball at their own 43-yard line, minute 27 to go. They pitch left this time. They stick with Rugg. Rugg going to cut up the field at the 45, looking for the 48-yard line. Tackled from behind by Braden Paris. Good pursuit by the senior. It's a 5-yard gain, and now Coach Ball is going to use the first of his 3 timeouts to stop the clock with a minute 18 remaining.
Yeah, I was looking to downhill this side, Nick, on a long sweep and get outside. Great contain there by the Timberlane Owls. I couldn't see the number who did. Maybe we'll see it here, but you'll see a really good turn inside, which forced that force that tackle to be inbounds and force Coach Ball to take a timeout.
Timberlane's been good on the edge all night.
They have,
and have defended the boundary well.
But 3 timeouts allows you. Here we go right here. Watch the great contain on the defense here. So he's running outside. See that turnaround? 13 was out there. 3.
Yeah, Baker's been a beast all night.
Baker's been an absolute beast all night.
And again, Paris.
Sneaky speed, Nick. Baker.
Paris is the man who made the tackle. All right. 2nd and 4 officially from the 49-yard line. Blue Hawks out of the timeout. Minute 18 to go, 4th quarter. Exeter trailing 27-23. Pafford back under center. 4-man front on the other side for Timberlane. Another hard count issued by the senior. Hand off McGinley. Trying to protect the football as he goes through the hole. Not going to get much. Maybe 2 yards across the 50 to the Timberlane 49-yard line. 3rd down and short coming. Exeter going to line up and try to keep this moving without a huddle. Pace accelerating as we move inside the final minute. Snap, pitch, right side, Rugg.
Oh, what a tackle.
From behind at the line of scrimmage. That's Capetta, the senior, who has been so good on offense tonight. Makes perhaps the biggest tackle so far for Timberlane. We get a timeout here by Exeter with 48 seconds remaining. So the Blue Hawks with 1 left, and the ball game riding on the upcoming 4th down and 3.
How do you beat that? Both quarterbacks, get their teams to this point right down to the wire here, and then they go out on defense and make big plays for their team as well. Talk about valuable players. Both Capetta and Pafford just done an outstanding job tonight.
A lot of these kids have played both ways.
They have
tonight. But two deeper units, but some of the key, I don't know if stars is the right word, but some of the better players certainly go both ways for these 2 teams.
They've acted like it. They've lived that out on the field. They deserve it, no question, Nick. But the thing that both of these coaching staffs have done is sprinkle in that depth and support so they can be here in the 4th quarter and be out in the field, not gassed.
Right.
Great job by both organizations.
Here we go. 4th down and 3, the game on the line with 48 seconds. Exeter trying to stay alive. Snap. Play action pass. Pafford down the sideline. Moss trying to juggle it. Yes, he pulls it in. Pass complete inside the 40-yard line. Looked like Moss got one hand on it initially, took a big hit, but somehow able to pull it in inbounds for a first down.
Wow. Let's take a look here. How did he hold on to that football?
Able to pin it. Looked like up near the shoulder pad. Took a big hit from Shivel.
Wow, he didn't get hit out of bounds? Apparently not. Here we go.
1st and 10. Exeter ready to go. 41 seconds now remaining. Ball at the Owl 39-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Rugg met by Baker, but not before picking up another Exeter first down. It's a gain of 12 up the middle. They're going to spot the football at the 27-yard line, stop the clock with 34 seconds temporarily to reset the chains. Here we go. Clock running again. Down inside of 30 seconds. Underneath center is Pafford. Another long, hard count. Takes the snap. Handoff McKinley. Right side. Not going to get much. Stopped at the 25. 3 different Owl defenders are there. 19 seconds now remain, and I believe Exeter just used their final timeout. Third and final timeout called for and given to Coach Ball, who is going to step inside the offensive huddle himself. Exeter now out of timeouts with, again, just over 19 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it comes down to this, Nick. It was very predictable with these teams, but you know, Coach Ball believes in the run. He's going to live and die by it, and he look at that catch. What an unbelievable jump. See, I thought he was off the ground, might have been out of bounds, but his toes must have. Yeah. The official was right there.
Just a heck of a catch.
Just a heck of a catch and a heck of a look at that. Look at that. Just all effort. Lays himself out there.
About as good of a hit as you can lay
still
as well
by That's
Schibble,
just sheer determination there.
Moss did a great job.
Done it all game.
Keeping the drive alive, but now Exeter with their backs to the wall, out of timeouts, 19 seconds remaining.
This is end zone.
End zone or bust. 25 yards between the ball and the goal line. Under center out of the timeout. Pafford on a second down and 7. 4-man front. Play action, rolling right. The senior going to tuck, going to run. Uses the sideline, picks up the first down, and steps out of bounds at about the 12-yard line with just 13 seconds now remaining.
Yeah, but he got done what he wanted to do, Dick. They can get 2 plays into the end zone. I'm surprised nobody was shadowing Pafford on the outside, but they decided to go all defensive backfield on this and bring everybody back. But that allows Pafford to use that athletic skill and get outside position so he can stop the clock. So now he's just getting down to that yard is 12-foot, 13-yard line. That allows them to open up their passing playbook. Something over the middle.
I think you got to go to the air here. 13 seconds from the 13-yard line. Crowd fired up. Pafford under center. On first down, the snap. Handoff left side. Moss inside the 5. Going to be tackled. The ball is, I think, loose. No, now the official going to pick it up. Clock still running, and now time has expired. Timberlane is going to win the football game.
You run the football there, Nick.
Moss got down. He tried to flick the ball to the official. The official did not catch it initially. By the time the ball was retrieved by the officials, it was too late. And the final score is going to be Timberlane 27, Exeter 23. A wild finish here in Plastow.
What a football game between 2 great teams, Nick. Just outstanding defense, outstanding trench fear, great special teams, great offense, great leadership amongst the seniors on both of these teams. Nobody ever questioned that these are both right up there in the top.
I'll tell you what, anybody who was questioning Timberlane,
you better not anymore, because I never did.
They're now 4-1, and perhaps really one of the biggest wins for the program as they get the job done 27-23 and are now 4-1 amongst the best records in Division I.
Yeah, I mean, Capetta and Pafford are the 2 kind of quarterbacks that can take you all the way, Nick. These guys are terrific. They listen to their coaches. I've been exceedingly impressed with both of these quarterbacks tonight, but I have to tell you, the offensive running at the key times by Capetta tonight, Nick, was just amazing. And that inside fake jet, inside counter there, with the blocking scheme that they have on a cross block is just incredible. And you give all the credit in the world. It was Timberlane's night tonight, but you got to believe these teams could play each other 10 times and each be 5-5.
All right, we'll talk about it, break it down, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, all that coming up next. Post-game on the other side. Timberlane a winner tonight over Exeter, 27-23 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, what a game tonight. 27-23 ends up being the final. Timberlane wins their fourth game of the season, improves to 4-1. Exeter losing for the first time tonight and falling to 4-1. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. What a game. Very competitive, back and forth in the second half. Exeter got on the board. The game's longest play, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Brian Paffer to Ethan Moss in the final minute of the first quarter. Blue Hawks led 7-0 after one. 4 minutes into the second quarter, freshman Liam Corman is having a great season, especially for a freshman. Scored his 8th touchdown of the year to tie the game at 7. And then, at the end of the first half, Exeter, on the heels of a lengthy drive, they call their final timeout with less than 2 seconds. Sets up a 1-yard touchdown as time expires. Extra point try was blocked, but Blue Hawks went to the locker room with a 13-7 lead. Then the seesaw battle commenced in the second half. Third quarter, Timberlane, on their first drive, they go down the field. Quarterback Dom Capetta played well tonight, the senior, with a 2-yard touchdown. Extra point was good, and that was the difference, 14-13, about midway through that third quarter. Ethan Moss, in the final 2 minutes, puts the Blue Hawks, back out in front. Although I kind of like Bluebirds.
I like the Blue Hawks in football, Nick.
Moss, a 32-yard field goal, gave Exeter a 16-14 lead going into the fourth quarter. Then another lead change. Timberlane's Ed DeGulio came up with some big runs, particularly in the second half. None bigger than the 37-yard touchdown run he rips off less than 3 minutes in to, again, put Timberlane out in front. They went for 2, and it failed but they had a 20-16 lead at that point. Exeter's final lead came from Ethan Moss, a 6-yard touchdown run. He added his own extra point and put the road team in a position at that point to win the game at 23-20. But Timberlane not to be denied. They go back down the field, nearly 70 yards, and it's Ed DeGulio on an 11-yard touchdown run with 1:37 to go to give Timberlane their 27-23 lead. Exeter gives it a valiant effort in the final 1:37, but they run out of time, literally inside the 5-yard line, and the game ends at 27-23. Timberlane, a big-time premier win here on their home field tonight over perennially tough Exeter.
We'll get to Exeter in a minute. Just talk about Timberlane really quick, Nick. You know, one thing I saw in that offense, you can talk about the special teams with Timberlane, you can talk about the kicking game, you can talk about the defense, which, I mean, it's all part of this win. But there is something I saw tonight on that offense, Nick, and it's 3 guys running behind a first-class offensive line, and they utilize that jet motion, and it's Copetta, what a runner he is, Trey Baker, what a runner he is, and then DeGulio with that inside running. And then you got Baker on the outside.
And don't forget about the freshman Corman.
I was going to bring that up next. And then you got him to be able to come in as well. Nick, that is an offensive unit in the running game, and then to be able to pass the ball downfield on some fakes and use some decoys. They have a potent group there that they can, with that particular set, that they can run 7, 8, 9 plays out of that can drive a defense insane.
Right.
And let me tell you, that Exeter defense did a heck of a job on a great offense tonight. And the Exeter, Timberlane did a great job at key moments of slowing down Exeter when they needed to. But you know this game was going to be tight. It was. Timberlane and Exeter have coaches that have got film on each other.
Yep.
They're going to study that film. Bill Ball is going to become a film rep on this game. Wouldn't be surprised if we potentially could see these two teams again in a semifinal or something like that. And boy, is that going to be important then. But anybody coming in thinking that the Timberlane Owls aren't right up there playing head-to-head with the top teams in this, they just put that to bed tonight.
I think
so. Terrific job.
Again, Division II champions a year ago. They make the jump up to D1 and have now won 4 out of 5. The lone blemish, of course, was week 2 in a loss against Bishop Girton by a final of 23-20. Meanwhile, the Timberlane band continuing to entertain this crowd as they're known to do.
Excellent.
Well after the game is played tonight. One of my favorite bands personally, doing a great job down here on the sideline as we continue to wrap this one up. All right, another look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It's Week 5 statewide, and we've got some games, Steve, that are boiling down to the final minutes. We'll begin with undefeated Spalding, now trailing Manchester Memorial by a score of 27-20. Still some time left in that game. It's late in the third quarter, but the Crusaders hoping to hold on for their first win. Again, leading undefeated Spalding by a score of 27-20 late in the third quarter. That'd be a big win
for Memorial because, you know, everybody knows that program is growing, and there's some good things happening with Memorial. But, boy, you don't go in taking any game for granted. I'm sure Spalding didn't. That's probably going to be a game that's going to end very same way this one did, right down to the wire.
Concord looking to keep a win streak alive. They're out of state tonight against Rutland, Vermont, and no problem with the Green Mountain boys, at least so far. 35-6 at halftime. Concord representing the Shire very well. Dover trying to bounce back after a stinging loss last week against a Portsmouth team who's trying to get above 500. Start of the fourth quarter, Dover with a 7-0 lead over Portsmouth.
Wow. Yeah, Portsmouth offensive production just isn't happening to this point, Nick. But, you know, you don't underestimate that defense. That defense has kept a lot of teams really, really tight, and they've gone down the wire. They got to get that offense moving. Coach Pafford, if he can get that done, there's still time, but it's starting to run a little shy now.
Another game, Steve. This one getting away from Salem. Pinkerton a 27-0 lead over the Blue Devils.
So their offense working this
late
week
in the third quarter. And then we had 2 other monster blowouts in development at last look. North running away with it at halftime over Goffstown 64-7. Titans looking to stay
unbeaten. And, of course, Bedford was beaten up on Nashua South.
Yep.
At last look as well.
What was the score of the how many points did Salem have against Pinkerton?
None.
Yeah. Again, we talked last week in Londonderry, Pinkerton, Nick. I said they have a solid defense. And if they can work on developing that offense, Coach O'Reilly, I'm sure, went to town, did that this week. But that defense is solid. I mean, they only left, I think they gave up no more than 13 points to Londonderry out of that 31. I think the rest of it, if you count the short field, some of those were 20-yard touchdowns, because the
something tells me Pinkerton will be all right.
I think Pinkerton's going to be just fine. Yep, I agree.
All right. Final thoughts, Steve, on what was really a dramatic finish here tonight.
Well, thank you for the coaches, the players. Angelo here, I know you always thank him at the end, and the whole Timberlane people for making it such a great place to come to and do a game. And what a great venue here in the press box. Got a great view of the field. But I thank you to the players, the coaches, and for the wonderful game that they put on. Nobody let down. Just 4 quarters of hard-fought football. This is what football is all about. And both of these teams proved how good they are. And anybody coming in think it's going to be easy against these guys, they got another thing coming. I think Exeter goes home. Again, sometimes going undefeated isn't always the best thing.
Right.
Exeter worked hard. They deserved to be where they are in this game. But they're going to go back, and they're going to have this memory, and that's going to motivate them as they go in the future. Just and very impressed with both of these staffs, of the timeouts they called, the timing, and the way that they both managed the clock was just outstanding, Nick. And looking forward to going up with you to Plymouth tomorrow for another good game against Souhegan.
Yeah, good call there as well. Final reminder, we'll be on the air tomorrow, 1:45 for that D2 matchup between Souhegan and Plymouth. Should be an electric atmosphere.
As it was here.
In North Country for that 2 o'clock kick. Again, it's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between Souhegan and Plymouth tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Want to thank our sponsors, of course, Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, New Hampshire iPhone Repair, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, and Ghost Energy. We appreciate them keeping us on the air for you. You mentioned him, Angelo Fantasia, the MVP, as far as I'm concerned tonight, the athletic director here at Timberlane, sticking up for us in a lot of ways and making sure we were all set up here.
Can't blame anybody wanting to be in this room. It's great.
in the booth. And, of course, our crew, Kristen Beals, back in the fold, upstairs tonight, doing a great job. My man, John Barron, spearheading the setup and handling business behind the end zone. And, of course, Craig Incardoni, starting to become a bit of a celebrity down there along the sidelines, doing a great job.
He hasn't given me an autograph yet.
As well.
John has, but he hasn't.
Of course, the guy who puts it all together, the unseen hand, the man behind the curtain, director Ben Beals. Back in the Beals Insurance Studios, getting better by the game, if you can believe it. My man, Steve Beals, the executive producer, doing a bang-up job as always, my friend. My name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Timberlane 27, Exeter 23. This has been our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.